All right, I call this meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. The University of Central Florida respectfully acknowledges that it's located on the traditional lands of the Ice, Appalachee, Calusa, Timucua, and Tocobago tribes, as well as the Seminole Tribe of Florida and the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida. Roll call and verification of quorum. Vice Chair Trejo Hernandez.
Luke Paul.
Present.
Anna Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Gabriel Casimiro.
Present.
Isa Ariza.
Present.
James Capinos. JC Lim. Sarasa Sweetka.
Present.
Jonah Scott.
Present.
Lee Chow.
Present.
Shiri Jane. Owen Sherman.
Present.
Denny Smith. Aura Ashad Ali.
Present.
Melvo D.
Present.
Izard Malik. David O'Rola.
Present.
Jason Hamid.
Present.
Brian Kaufman.
Present.
Nicholas Look.
Present.
Jordan Metellus. Darren McNulty.
Present.
Peter Okahase.
Present.
Samara Rose.
Present.
Grace Rudy.
Present.
Here. Terry Fawcett.
Present.
Nathan Rickett.
Present.
Zachary Gaudio. Kashi Chauhan. Bobby Escobar.
Present.
Rose Rodriguez. Katrina Wajan. Hashim Hassin.
Present.
Corson Green. Diane Nguyen.
Present.
Anthony Bonaventure.
Present.
Veronica Perez.
Present.
Halima Alcuda.
Present.
Alba Nesh. Jocelyn Conderillo. Kirsten Quartz.
Present.
Victoria Jones.
Present.
Angelique Leon. Abby Matthews.
Present.
Isabella McRae. Spurthy Nakshumaradova.
Present.
Cameron Renda.
Present.
Murray Colony.
Present.
Maria Simmons.
Present.
Mila Tardescu.
Present.
Juan Varela.
Present.
Julia Zivin.
Present.
Jordan Lipner. 39 out of 52 quorums verified.
All right, and then everyone take a look at last meeting's minutes, and is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? And then take a look at today's agenda. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
Okay, anybody here for open forum? Seeing none. Announcements from the student body president, President Blanco.
Good evening, Senate. Hope you had a great week. This week, we had our monthly executive committee where we had a super productive conversation led by Director of Communications, Ayub, on creating SG core values and a mission statement. So excited to see what comes from that. This week, we also had a super successful Cookies with a Cop and Night Shot on main campus. We also had the opportunity to present the executive branch to SGLC this week. So again, shout out to the coordinators to continuing to kill it. And I can't wait for them to meet our other branches. Where was I? Sorry. Okay, this week in partnership with Parking and Transportation Services, I'm super excited to announce the rollout of the Waterford stop for UCF shuttles. If you have any questions about the logistics, reach out to Coordinator Lopez for that. And then next week, I'll be joining Senate and Judicial as we head to Morgantown for the 3rd annual Big 12 conference. So I'm super excited to connect with fellow SG agents. So with that being said, if you need anything, please reach out before Thursday of next week. Okay, so as for appointments, I hereby appoint Sachi Makadia for the College of Health Professions and Sciences seat 3. And then for resignations, I hereby resign Emily Lopez from the Women's Caucus.
Any questions for the student body president? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the student body vice president, Vice President Benitez.
Good evening, Senate. Hope everyone is doing well, especially with midterms potentially happening this week or next week, depending on your schedules. We held amazing events this week, as previously mentioned, and SGLC had the opportunity to meet our executive cabinet. Shout out to all of them and also the coordinators. One of the biggest announcements and a platform initiative that Lucy and I ran off of is officially the phase 1 of the My UCF overhaul. Like mentioned, it will be done in 2 phases. So the first one was launched this past Monday. There were minimum issues, so it was a great integration. I'm super excited to see the rest of it unfold. Please let me know if you are having any issues with it or if you know anyone who is experiencing issues so I can get you connected with the right people about that. And like always, please reach out if you have any questions.
Any questions for the Vice President? Senator Fawcett?
Do you know what phase 2 is going to encompass?
So phase 2, what I believe, from my understanding, they were working mainly on phase 1 right now. So after now, they're going to work on phase 2. But right now, whenever you access the new MyUCF portal, it still leads you to a little bit of the old portal that was the old site. So I believe phase 2, which is going to come in the spring semester, along that timeline, that's when the old platform that was used before is going to officially integrate to the platform that's being used right now.
Senator Chauhan?
Present and voting.
Senator Chauhan, present voting, so noted at 7:07 p.m. Senator Lipner?
President voting.
Senator Lipner, present voting, so noted at 7:07 p.m. Senator Jane?
Present and voting.
Senator Jane, present voting, so noted at 7:07 p.m. Any questions for the Vice President? Seeing none, thank you. Comptroller's report, Comptroller Drinkwater.
Good evening. I hope you all are doing well. The first SG Finance Office meeting is scheduled virtually on October 15th at 10:45 a.m. and we'll be discussing any concerns with activity and service fee funds. The current CRT balance is $320,024.30 with a reversion rate of 0.01%. The current FAO balance is $196,644.41 with a reversion rate of 0.43%. I hope you all have a great weekend and let me know if you have any questions.
Any questions for the Comptroller? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
AG report, AG Altoona.
Good evening, Senators. I hope you're all doing well. This week, I was assigned an impartial advising case, so I'm also working on that. And then I was also at a conduct board this morning, which went really well. I've also been working on updating statutes, Senate rules, and caucus minutes for the Student Government website. Today at LPR for the Election Commission, I had a great conversation with Supervisor Presley, Chair Chow, and the committee members to discuss revisions to Title VI. We've also hired a new student assistant, so I'll be working closely with her, and I'm very excited for her to be fully onboarded. Additionally, Shane, the webmasters, and I have been developing a new way for minutes to be uploaded to the website, so I'm very excited for that to be launched. So I'm working on that now. I did want to give a thank you to Kevin Bonilla and his team, just because they have been working very diligently to get everything updated on the website. I also just sent out the my opinion that I just released. And I also sent out earlier this week updated versions of all of our governing documents. So that should be in your email. And lastly, I met with my mentee, Victor Garcia. He was great. And I'm very excited to see all of the outstanding work that the SGLCers will accomplish this year. One of my initiatives this year for Attorney General was to provide more comprehensive training on ethics and transparency. So I'm currently in conversations with Vice President of Compliance and Ethics, Rhonda Bishop, to explore ways to deliver this training. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, and have a great weekend.
Any questions for the AG? Seeing none, thank you. Cabinet Forum, Chief of Staff Pearson.
Alrighty, hello Senate. I hope you all are doing well. I've been quite busy as we've just completed our third SGLC meeting where they have met the executive branch and will be meeting our other branches and our commission within the upcoming weeks. If you see the SGLCers in office, fun fact, some of them are back there. Make sure to say hello and chat with them. The SGLCers have also been assigned their round one mentor, so that's also been going well. And I also just wanted to let you know that I've been selected to represent student government on the homecoming court alongside our very own Jordan Metellus. So if you have any questions to like the other things, feel free to reach out.
Any questions for the Chief of Staff? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Chief Justice Pizarro.
Good evening, Senate. This week, the Judicial Council took their headshots for the SG website updates. Thank you so much to Director of Comms Ayub and Digital Media Coordinator Para for their support. The Assistant Chief Justices are also preparing the branch for our Judicial Day at SGLC next week, which we are very excited about. Shout out to all the coordinators for doing an amazing job so far with the program. Next week, the judicial leadership and Associate Justices Tilkey and Johnson will be joining the Election Commission in touring the Orange County Supervisor of Elections office. Thank you very much to EC for setting that up and inviting our justices to represent the judicial branch. Lastly, next week, I will be joining branch heads from the executive and legislative branches for their Big 12 conference in Morgantown, West Virginia. While I'm absent, External Assistant Chief Justice Villa Derez will serve as the acting Chief Justice from Thursday morning to Sunday evening.
Any questions for the Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Supervisor of Elections. Supervisor of Elections Presley.
Hello, good evening, Senate. Hope everyone has had a great week. Today, during the Commission's Legislative Precedent and Rules Committee, the committee was joined by me, ENA Chair Chow, Attorney General Tuna, and other members of ENA to discuss the election rules and procedures and the Title VI overhaul. We are looking forward to continuing our partnership with ENA Committee to work on revisions and changes to these documents. Yesterday, EC tabled outside the Student Union. We had a great time, and thank you to all the SGLCers that came and volunteered their time with us. Next Tuesday, the Election Commission, along with some members from executive, legislative, and judicial branches, will be touring the Orange County Supervisor of Elections office. This partnership was one of our initiatives that Assistant Supervisor Clauzo and I have worked to implement this year, and we're excited to build this connection network with our local government's counterparts. And then lastly, applications for the open Election Commission seats 1 and 11 are open on Night Connect. These seats will be filled on a rolling basis, and then Assistant Supervisor Clauzo and I will begin reviewing applications in the coming weeks.
Any questions for the Supervisor of Elections? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Activity and Service Fee Committee Chair, Chair Kaufman.
Hello, everyone. We had our second meeting on Monday where we discussed our general timeline for the year, went over some introductory definitions, and assigned all ANSF-funded entities to committee members who are now starting to introduce themselves to their entities. Our next meeting is on October 6th, where we will be reviewing and preparing the budget packets to be sent out.
Any questions for the ANSF Committee Chair? Seeing none. Caucus reports, Air Caucus, Chair Alcuda.
Hello, everyone. I've been working on getting more RSOs and organizations throughout campus to table during the APIA caucus and our event Tea Time, which will be on Tuesday, October 21st from 12 to 3 p.m. in the Student Union Atrium. Most preparations have been arranged already, so I'm super proud of all the work that Chair Lim and I have accomplished ahead of our annual tabling event. We hope to see you all there. That's it for me. Thank you.
Any questions for the Arab Caucus Chair? Seeing none, APIA Caucus Chair Lim or Vice Chair. I don't believe I remember the vice chairs, but I'll just read it. Hi, everyone. I hope you've been having a great week so far. I've been working on getting APIA RSOs to sign up to table for the Tea Time event. Also been working with the designs for the stamped sheets. We hope to see you all there. Thanks, everyone. And apologies to Justice Villa Derez because it slipped my mind. Black Caucus Chair Smith or Vice Chair Jones.
All right, Chair Smith couldn't be here today. She says, "Hi, Senate. Sorry I couldn't be here today, but I'm feeling a little under the weather." For Black Caucus, we've had a successful week as we hosted the first of our biannual Black Business Showcase. We ended 2 hours early because of the weather, but I believe it was a huge success. There was a good turnout from the students, and I love seeing all the other members of student government out to support us as well. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who helped. I know it was a lot of work, but I couldn't have done it without a team effort. Also, thank you to all the SGLCers that came and took charge. It was amazing to see how dedicated you all were to helping out. Outstanding job, everyone. Thank you.
Any questions for the Black Caucus Vice Chair? Seeing none, ICTC Chair Barilla.
Hello, Senate. No meeting for us this week since we are on our off week for our bi-weekly meeting, so we'll be meeting again next week on Tuesday. Even so, tomorrow we'll be tabling at the Student Early Exploration Fair, which is just an opportunity to give prospective students a chance to experience what daily UCF life is like. So we'll be there representing ICTC and student government as a whole.
Any questions for the ICTC Chair? Senator Leon.
Present and voting.
Senator Leon, present and voting. so noted at 7:16 p.m. Senator Green.
President voting.
Senator Green, President voting, so noted at 7:16 p.m. Any questions for the ICTC chair? Seeing none, LGBTQ plus caucus. Is AG Altoona still back there? No? Okay, I'll read it out. It says, looking for vendors for the fall pride market. If interested or know anyone who is interested, Teams message me. So if you know anybody, please email or message Chair Banesh. Sustainability Caucus, Chair Lipner.
Hi, everyone. Emails will be sent out to RSOs regarding sustainability focuses, along with university departments, about unfilled ex officio seats tomorrow. And our next meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday at 4:15 p.m. Additionally, I've been in contact with the representative from the Arboretum, who is expecting to be present at the meeting next week. In regards to the caucus leadership committee, we met this week and had a really successful committee meeting. And our next committee meeting will either be in a week and a half or next month. So keep an eye out within our teams to have a vote regarding that. Additionally, I'm working with Shane to get name tags done. So that will be coming in the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. Any questions?
Any questions for the Sustainability Caucus Chair? Seeing none, Women's Caucus Chair Renda.
Hey everyone, the Women's Health Fair will be October 23rd in the Student Union Atrium, and we're having a meeting tomorrow in the SG conference room at 10:30, and we're also making a list for ex officio seats.
Any questions for the Women's Caucus Chair? Seeing none, announcements from the Senate President. Good evening, Senate. Today is another packed meeting, but I believe we'll be able to get through everything efficiently. Last meeting, I had to bang my gavel more than usual, so here's a bit of a refresher on my expectations. You are to speak professionally when addressing anybody, especially during legislation. When speaking in debate, per Robert's rules, you are to address the chair, not the individual who gave their speech. And lastly, this room is built to amplify voices. If you're a senator, you are not to be having outside conversations during formal procedures. If you're in the back, please whisper quietly. Everything comes to the front. So when we adjourn for fiscal or internal committee caucus time, please be quiet when you're leaving this room because the committees start as soon as I adjourn. But I completely understand that we are our own people, and being serious can be exhausting sometimes. This is the reason why I allow us to let loose towards the end of the meeting, so please stay serious until then. We have eyes on us always, in person and on the live stream, and we have a reputation that I wish to build and uphold. Okay. The Senate retreat was a success. I hope you all feel more prepared and had a lot of fun. We had our second ANSF meeting. I was assigned Volunteer UCF as my entity, and I'm excited to learn more and help them. I will not be here next Thursday as branch heads fly up to WVU for the Big 12 SG conference. I expect all of you to give Pro Tempore Hamid the same respect you give me, and I linked the itinerary if any of you are interested. We have our Rosen event snow cones with the senators on October 8th from 12 to 2. I'll send out a general Senate when to meet Monday for that. However, we also have our SG-wide tabling at the same time here on main campus. It's from 11 to 1:30. So if you're available to do that, I would really appreciate it because we have to kind of divide evenly. It will be in the atrium for that coming week. So please fill out the one to me so I can figure out the shifts. Any questions for me? Seeing none, ILA report, ILA Rudy.
Hi, everyone. Not too much from me, but thank you so much for being so welcoming to the SGLC class. And for those who have mentees, fantastic job having those one-on-ones. I've been seeing them in the office. Continue your welcoming, especially during committees, because those can be particularly intimidating for SGLCers to walk into. And then remember to keep me in mind for all internal communications between the judicial branch, the election commission, and the caucuses.
Any questions for the ILA? Seeing none, ELA report, ELA Reed.
Hello, everyone. So far, we've had 2 successful dean meetings with the College of Arts and Humanities and the College of Medicine. Please keep filling out your proposals with your initiatives. They've been a really big hit with the dean so far, so keep up that. Continue to work on your initiatives even after completing the dean meetings, as these are a great way to get feedback and support for your deans for your initiatives. So, just because you finished your dean meeting doesn't mean you're done with your initiative. I also linked the College of Arts and Humanities and College of Medicine proposals if you want to take a look at that. the graphic request form is in the Senate Teams. Make sure to fill that out. Also, I'm working on trying to add some type of shared calendar so we can keep track of events and meetings. And then thank you to everyone who has sent me media inquiries that they've gotten so far. Great job on keeping with statutes and keeping me in the know so I can improve any interviews. Thank you.
Any questions for the ELA? Seeing none. Pro Tempore report, Pro Temp Mead.
Hi guys. So I hope you're all doing great. Not much from me. I wasn't feeling that well this week, but this week I've been focusing more on my donation drive and sending out emails for that. Also, for all my new senators, please finish your financial training and send me your scores if you have not. Also, I know the ethics training web course should be working, but if you have any issues, please let Shane or I know. Also, please be conscious of what you say in the office, especially as SGLCers are now joining us. It's our job to make sure that everyone, SG agents, SGLCers, or just students in general who come into our office feel welcome. So I expect you all to uphold that.
Any questions for the Pro Tempore? Seeing none. D-Leg report, D-Leg Kaufman.
All right, next Thursday is the legislation writing workshop at 6 p.m. in the chamber, so mark your calendars. It's going to be so exciting. I highly encourage everyone to attend to learn more about the process of writing legislation. And on another note, Fiscal Bill 5721 was PPI'd in committee because the RSO is no longer registered with OSI, but because their event is in May, we may be able to bring the bill back in the spring if they become registered in time. And also, just so everyone is aware, the fiscal bills that are for travel in December will have to be seen on second and third reading tonight to remain in timeline. Today's legislation, first reading, 1 fiscal bill, 1 resolution, and 1 proclamation. Third reading, 2 fiscal bills, 1 constitutional amendment, 1 internal bill, and 2 resolutions. And on second reading, we have 3 fiscal bills with a 4th potentially being adopted in CRT and caucus, 1 internal bill, and 2 proclamations.
Any questions for the D-Leg? Seeing none. DISA report given by Pro Temp Mead.
All right, so Jimmy says, I'm sorry that karaoke got postponed. I have been sick these past couple days, but I will announce a new date coming soon. We'll also be having a calendar and event flyer for our upcoming events out soon. I have just been sick, unfortunately. Our next event is Manhunt on the 11th of October. It'll be lots of fun if you guys are looking for something more active. It will be around the student union in a late event, so plan accordingly. It will be between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Our online mode of bonding will be our Minecraft server. Yay! So for those of you who have not been able to attend our events or do not foresee themselves being able to come, please, the Minecraft server will serve as another mode of bonding, which will be more versatile and hopefully more accessible. Also, please write this date down. He said this in bold. Please write this down. October 25th between 5 to 10. This will be our spooky night, which will be our Halloween party. And it is planned to be our biggest event of the semester. So we're doing a lot of planning for it. So I really hope you guys come. Also, November 2nd is currently planned to be beach day. Yet I know that this is weekend after Halloween, so we might change that. But more announcements will come out to gauge everyone's opinion. Also, more announcements will be coming out for the calendar for all our events. And lastly, please support our last regularly seasoned flag football game tomorrow at 5 at the RWC Fields. It'll be a great game.
Any questions that the Pro Temp can answer? Seeing none. Old business, none. Fiscal committee caucus time. So per the Senate rules, if the Senate Exec Committee agrees that 2 committees can caucus at the same time, they will. Senate Exec approved it. So these 2 committees will be caucusing at the same time. CRT already asked for the chamber first, so FAO will be having the conference room. So I hereby adjourn this meeting at 7:24 p.m. to re-adjourn at, Quiet,
please.
To re-adjourn at 7:44 p.m. I hereby reconvene this meeting at 7:54 p.m. Fiscal Committee reports, CRT Committee, Chair Sherman.
Hi, everyone. Now that we're in October, quarter one is over, and we'll be rolling over $12,514.06 into quarter two. This week in committee, we approved allocations 57, 200, 212, 213, and 217 through 222. We postponed allocations 57, 214, 215, and 216, and postponed indefinitely allocations 57, 192, and 197. We also approved fiscal bills 57, 22, and 24, and internal bill 57, 14. And tonight in caucus, we approved allocations 57, 223 through 225, and approved fiscal bill 57, 26.
Any questions for the CRT Committee Chair? Chair Gaudio.
Present and voting.
Chair Gaudio, present and voting, so noted at 7:54 p.m. FAO Committee, Chair Lucht.
All right, hello everyone. We're rolling over $15,712.72 into Q2 from our Q1 budget, and we saw 12 allocations and 2 fiscal bills in committee on Wednesday. And in that meeting, we approved allocations 57, 64, 67, 71, 75, 76, 78, 79, 80, and 81. We postponed allocations 57, 72, 73, 74, and 77. We approved fiscal bill 5723, and we PPI'd fiscal bill 5721. In our first caucus today, we postponed allocations 57, 72, 73, and 74, and we PPI'd allocation 57, 77. And then in our second caucus, we postponed those same 3 allocations, but approved allocation 57, 77.
Any questions for the FAO Committee Chair? Seeing none, ORS Committee, Chair Rose. Or Vice Chair Jones? Neither. ORS Committee, Chair Rose.
I was sick last week, so we had like a 15-minute meeting and we just postponed one VPF.
Any questions for the ORS Committee Chair? Seeing none, fiscal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading, fiscal bill 5725, remanded to FAO, notice of legislation on third reading, fiscal bill 5719, funding for 60 members of the American Society of Civil Engineers to travel to the 2026 ASC Southeast Student Symposium in Boca Raton, Florida from March 11th, 2026 to March 15th, 2026. Is there a motion for speeches, questioning, and debate? Troy Hernandez.
I motion for a 5-10-10.
There's been a motion for a 5-10-10. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, Senator Metellus is not here, so D-Leg Kaufman, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
First, it's the same RSO. Can I motion to see fiscal bills 57, 19, and 20 as a block?
There's been a motion to see fiscal bills 57,
Seconded.
19, and 20 as a block, and a second, any objections? Seeing none, these 2 fiscal bills will be seen as a block.
Yeah, nothing has changed between second and third reading on these bills. They are the same. I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, we are now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions? Chair Hernandez.
Move to debate. Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? Lipner?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures on this block. Okay, with a vote count of 40 to 0, fiscal bills 5719 and 5720 passed third reading. Notice of legislation on second reading. We're going to carry the 5-10-10. Fiscal bill 5722, funding for 12 members of the future theme park leaders of association to travel to the 2025 California Executive Management Shadow Week trip in California from December 7th, 2025 to December 17th, 2025. ILA Rudy, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
I yield to the RSO.
Okay, so if the RSO is present, you may come to the podium.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Not afternoon. Good evening. My name is John Kaprevich. I am the president of the Future Theme Park Leaders Association. Tonight, I am joined by the rest of my executive board: Isabella Bradley, vice president, Eileen Maldonado, treasurer, and Madeline Brogy as our secretary. And today, we are going to be sharing with you all, talking about the Future Theme Park Leaders Association California Executive Management Shadow Week trip for 2025. Next slide. Thank you. So what is FTPLA? FTPLA is the largest and longest running student organization at the Rosen College of Hospitality Management. With over 90 dues paying members and over 361 registered members on Night Connect, we have had over 150 prospective members at our first meeting this year. At our meetings, we talk about theme park news, career advancements, and more. At our meetings, and sometimes outside of our meetings, we have guest speakers who come to our meetings from the industry. These have included all 4 Walt Disney World Vice Presidents, as well as people from Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Creative on a panel. And then outside of our meetings, we host site visits throughout the Central Florida area, where we visit major theme parks and attractions in the Central Florida area to help immerse our members in theme park management. One of the highlighted site visits of our year last year was a site visit to the Universal Epic Universe team member building. So that was really cool because Epic Universe hadn't opened yet, and our students were able to see that development management side in the industry. We also host larger scale site visit trips, including our annual trip to Southern California, which is what we're discussing today, as well as an annual trip to parks out in Europe, which the last one was held in spring of 2025, and we plan for our next one to be held in spring of 2026. One. So an overview of our California trip. This trip allows students who are actively pursuing a career within the theme park industry the opportunity to shadow and network with executive management in various departments of multiple theme parks on the West Coast while conducting research to expand knowledge within the theme park industry. These departments include food and beverage, merchandise, sales, marketing, engineering, park services, entertainment, attractions, and many more. Our goal in coordinating this conference is to help students learn relevant academic and professional information through various leaders and managers within the theme park industry. So we bring 8 members who are dues paying of the organization, who are selected through an application process consisting of professional application and interviews, and an interview with the board members, alongside the 4 board members of the executive board, for a total of 12 students. In these applications and interviews, we are looking for professionalism, experience within the industry, knowledge and passion for the theme park industry, organization, dedication of our organization, their career impact towards the trip, and more. The California trip benefits to the University of Central Florida. It further spreads the name of UCF and the Rosen College nationally by exemplifying professionalism and ambition. If you do not know, the Rosen College of Hospitality Management just started a brand new degree program, Theme Park and Attraction Management, that began 2 fall semesters ago. So this further spreads one of our new degree programs at the college. It provides a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to members, helping them develop career goals and provide job opportunities out on the West Coast. Explore differences between Florida theme parks and California theme parks, including different operations, laws, and more. It continues a trip that has been executed by FTPLA for over 15 years, and it helps us learn park operations from the management level for people that we meet in these different parks. Day-by-day itinerary of our trip. Again, this trip is from December 7th to December 17th. On Sunday, December 7th, we will be leaving Orlando through MCO at 7 a.m. and arriving at LAX at 9:47 a.m. And then further after that, we will be checking into our hotel. On Monday, December 8th, will be our first site visit at Knott's Berry Farm, followed by Tuesday, December 9th, site visit at SeaWorld San Diego. Followed by on Wednesday, December 10th, site visit to Universal Studios Hollywood. Followed by that, Thursday, December 11th, site visit at Legoland, California. Friday, December 12th, we have a site visit at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Then on Saturday, December 13th, we have an observational research day at Knott's Berry Farm. And then on Sunday, December 14th, an observational research day at Disneyland. And then following on Monday, December 15th, and Tuesday, December 16th, we have site visit days at Disneyland Park. And then on Wednesday, December 17th, we will be returning home to Orlando at LAX for 4:27 p.m. and arriving at MCO back here at home at 11:58 p.m. The pricing for the trip, we are requesting for hotel, flights, and registration. For our hotel, we will be staying at the Knott's Hotel. It is $1,000, $340.72 per room for 10 nights, totaling $4,022.16 in total. We are planning to go through Delta, the rates that I'm about to share from early September, so they may have changed since then. Seats are $587.79 per person for a total of $7,053.48 for the total of 12 people. Our registration to Disneyland is to help us understand operations from guest perspective and directly observe differences from parks on the East Coast. It is frequently stressed to us as students from the Rosen College the importance of understanding operation from the guest perspective, as our industry is primarily driven by guests and their experience when they go to these parks. The cost of registration is $250 per person. The registration needed for 12 members for a total of $3,000. The total applicable cost is for $14,075, $14,075.64. We are requesting a total for funding of $7,037.82.
Right, and then
President,
before you continue, speech time has elapsed, so is there a motion? Chair Hernandez?
Motion to extend speech time by 3 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend speech time by 3 minutes and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, you have 3 more minutes to continue your speech.
Thank you very much. Just one more slide. The pricing continued. We will be renting cars through Hertz for a total of $1,039.09. An estimated cost for each vehicle. We will be using two vehicles, 6 people per car. The total cost after funding will be $9,116. The above cost will be paid by FTPLA with a combination of dues, fundraising, and trip costs. We are financially trained officers of the organization, and in the event a selected member can no longer go, we will have backup members. This year we have, I know it says 32 applicants up there. That is my mistake. We have had 39 applicants this year for the trip. Thank you very much.
Okay, we are now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions for the RSO? Senator Lim?
President voting.
Senator Lim, President voting, so noted at 8:06 p.m. Senator Lipner, and then Chair Lush.
I believe you explained this really well within our conference, our committee meeting earlier this week, but can you explain the difference between the site visits and the observational research visits and what you'll be doing at each?
Yes, of course. So the site visits, we are taken by our contact specifically through back of house and front of house portions of the specific parks. Whereas the site visits, we are allowed to take the role of a guest for that day within the parks that we are doing observational research and experience these parks, Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm, from the guest perspective ourselves, to take in observational, to observe what it is like to be a guest in those parks.
Chalush?
Is there an itinerary for day by day for the site visits and the observational research parts?
Thank you. Yes, our park contacts give us an itinerary for what we will be reviewing in each of these parks. They have our start time and our end time and what departments and what department heads that we will be meeting with in these specific parks. So yes, there is an itinerary for the site days.
All right, follow up.
Yeah. Is there one for the observational research day too, or are you just going through the
No,
parks?
there's not a itinerary for the observational research days. No.
Any other questions? I will go Senator Rickett and then Chair Sherman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For your observational day at Disneyland, is it the Disneyland part or is it California Adventure?
Thank you. My apologies. I should have specified. It is both parks. It is both the Disneyland Park and the Disney California Adventure. Yes.
Chair Sherman?
2, if I may.
You may.
So the registration is for just one day. I'm assuming that is the observational research day.
Yes, that is correct.
And then you're just purely attending the park on that day, correct?
Yes, we are experiencing the park from a guest perspective. Yes.
Senator Sakpika?
So how is the observational research being conducted? What is the methodology? Are you writing stuff down on a paper, or what is the process for the observational research?
Thank you so much. So the observational research, we allow for members on the trip to go out and experience the park themselves from the guest perspective. Sometimes that does include people who will go on the trip and take their notes, and they just sit down and observe people, the guest flow, maybe from the guest arrivals or ride operations. So sometimes that does occur where people will take down notes and see how things are different from the West Coast to the East Coast, so we compare it back at home. But it is a freely conducted observational research day. So there's no itinerary to it, but that can occur, yes.
Chair Rose and then Senator Fawcett.
At the end, did you say you were going to rent vehicles from Hertz?
Yes, that is correct. We are renting vehicles from Hertz. This will be paid by FTPLA through funding, trip fees, and dues.
Senator Fawcett?
So on your observational days, when everything is done, how do you come back together? When do you come back together to debrief what you've observed? How do you go about that debrief process?
Thank you so much. So we will go back to the. I'm sorry. We will go back to the Knott's Hotel after every day on the site visit days and the observational research days. We go back to the lobby of the Knott's Hotel and we debrief what we've experienced throughout our day, what we noticed that is maybe different from home. Example, we visit SeaWorld San Diego. We notice something is different from SeaWorld Orlando. Could be one of our talking points back in the lobby, Knott's Berry Farm at the Knott's Hotel. But we will come together at the end of the park day and then leave to go back to the hotel and have these discussions.
All right. Any other questions for the RSO? Chair Varela and then Vice Chair Roacase.
2 questions.
Good.
Do you plan to use the cost of the rental cars as part of your RSO's contribution towards the bill?
Yes, we do.
And then the question directed towards fiscal chairs. 1 is, are rental cars not prohibited costs? And 2, won't ineligible costs not be able to use towards bill payment?
Yeah, we're not allowed to fund rental cars, and it is my understanding, maybe if Chair Rose wants to chip in as well, that can't be used on the country.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that in debate. So you cannot count that towards your part of the costs if it's something we can't also fund.
Okay. Senator Lipner and then Senator Sapika.
Could whoever is controlling the PowerPoint go back to the slide that gave the breakdown for the travel costs?
And then Senator Roacase, I'm sorry.
Have you guys been able to take a look at the price changes of the airfare?
Thank you. The last time we checked the pricing of the airfare, I believe was last week, and that was the cost.
Senator Lipner?
So just to clarify, the rental car costs are outside of everything that is shown on this page here.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions for the RSO? Chair Varela?
I believe this is already asked and answered, so I apologize. But for my own clarification, because I couldn't really hear all the way, the registration is only for the observational days, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions for the RSO? See. Oh, sorry, Senator Sapika.
So as a result of conducting these observational researches, how are you, meeting the purpose or the goal of your organization? What is the ultimate purpose? So you're spending a day at the site. So how are you taking this observational research and what kind of work will you be doing regarding that?
Yes, thank you. So once again, one of the points of the observational research is to understand the operation from guest perspective, as our industry is, theme park industry, attraction industry, is primarily driven by guests and their experience. So us being guests at these parks that we will be doing observational research, we are able to understand what guests go through on their day-to-day at these specific parks, how specific parks run their operations. So if I am a guest at a Disneyland park, I want to visit Knott's Berry Farm, who is a regional park, to see the differences of the guest experience from both parks.
Okay, any other questions?
One more,
Senator
if I
Sapika?
may. So how is that different from conducting a survey? For example, you can take a certain group of people and then survey them and then try to understand how they feel about the park or how the operations are being conducted at the park. So how is that different? What are you bringing to the table by conducting the observational research at the site?
Right. So it is our own perspective. We are able to bring our own perspective and our experience to the classroom during these experiences. We get many questions asked about, about this trip at Rosen College. So we're able to bring our experience and apply them to projects in classroom discussions. I would say, we bring that observational research from the guest perspective to these parks, mainly as an educational opportunity. So we bring it back to the classroom. Yeah.
Any other questions for the RSO? Just letting you guys know you have 2 more minutes of questioning. Chair Varela.
Yeah, for the 250 for the registration, 'cause it's not quite broken down on the slides. What is factored into that, like that registration cost? Like, what would you be spending that 250 for registration on? Is it like a specific like lump sum you pay to some organization, or like is it individually for each park? Like, what is the money going towards?
So the $250 for registration is for Disneyland, is for a 1-day ticket to Disneyland. So that is just what the 250 consists of. That is what the 250 consists of.
Any other questions for the RSO? If not, we are now in a period of debate. Make sure, remember what I said in announcements. When you're speaking in debate, it's aimed towards the chair, not the individual at the podium. Does anybody wish to speak in debate? Senator Rickett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So as far as the RSO goes, I completely understand why they have the need for those observational days. So myself, I'm actually working on my master's in hospitality. There's a lot of people in our program who aren't familiar with the different type of operations across theme parks across the world. For instance, I've been to Disneyland Paris, I've been to Aulani, California Adventure, and Disney World. There are operational differences, and there are ways and different excuse me, there are different things that go on in each park that a lot of people need to learn as far as guest services and how guests are treated, and different things work from Florida versus Disneyland Paris versus Disneyland California. So as far as the observational days that they are doing at California Adventure and Disneyland, it is much needed. It's because they need to see a different perspective on how different theme parks are run, even if it's the same company. So I really do support this RSO, and I'll be voting in favor. Thank you.
All right, Senator Satvika, and then Chair Chow, but 1 second, Senator Metellus.
President voting.
Senator Metellus, President voting, so noted at 8:15. Senator Satvika, whenever you're ready.
I definitely understand the purpose and goals. So I think it's understanding the operational side of your visit to each site. The only the only question that I was having was regarding the methodology of the observational research or how it is being conducted. But I definitely think that the purpose of going to the sites, there is a specific use to it, which is to understand the different operations or how that's different from different parks. But it's just the specific methodology of the observational research is what I'm trying to understand.
I think personally, I'm in favor of supporting this, at least from my perspective, at least with this organization here. And considering the methodology, I think that conducting a survey to ask people whether or not the specific things and survey them about the specific qualities of these theme parks might be difficult, because in terms of the participants who are going to these theme parks, it might be difficult for them to collect data because they might not notice things compared to the RSOs that are trained to notice certain things in the theme parks. And yes, they're coming from a guest perspective, but because they already have the education and the specific knowledge in order to see which specific qualities would help contribute to the welfare and the livelihood and enjoyment of these theme parks, I can see why it's definitely necessary, and it might be actually significantly more difficult to have a survey conducted in order to collect that proper research, because once again, these guests are probably focusing more on the enjoyment rather than the specific qualities of that theme park.
All right, with 3 in affirmation, does anybody wish to speak in negation? Chair Sherman.
Yeah, I'll just read out quickly the definition of registration. I will say I did raise this concern in CRT as well. What statutes has is the primary cost to attend an organized conference, and based off of CRT precedent as well as definitions and statutes again, I wouldn't really call this organized or a conference. As far as observational research, that's really something that is meant to culminate in a sort of academic project or presentation. And from what I've heard, this is not doing that. I'm fairly certain that I'll be voting in negation of the bill as a whole, but especially the registration I don't really think is necessarily appropriate for CRT to fund.
Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Senator Lipner.
I do hear Chair Sherman's concerns, but I do want to fully explain at least my perspective. The definition of registration is predicated on the definition of conference, which within our statutes is defined as, quote, an in-person gathering of professionals and or scholars at which the student presents research findings, attends workshops, or enhances personal or professional developmental skills. And I believe that this very clearly enhances their personal or professional developmental skills and is an in-person gathering of professionals and or scholars, being the individuals who work at this park, being one of the largest parks in this country and if not the world. And for those reasons, I'll be voting in favor.
Chair Lush?
I'm also in negation of this bill. I remember in CRT, we denied an allocation for something similar to this. And they were just requesting funding to go to the event. And they had the same invitation to come by. I think it was something to do with the airport. And I think we unanimously denied that allocation. So I think that if we were going to deny that allocation, I think we should also deny this fiscal bill, at least for the registration part.
Chair Hernandez?
The 56th session has voted in favor of this bill. The 56th and 55th session also voted in favor of this. I'd say it would be unjust to say no this year just because we caught up on what we define registration. I'll be voting in favor.
Okay. Chair Gaudio, ILA Rudy, Chair Varela.
Regarding previous statements, I'm enjoying some of this discourse. I'd like to hear more. I'm still formulating my thoughts. However, I will say with regards to precedent that I have always long held the opinions that precedent can serve as a guiding hand, but it should not be treated as absolute. And so I would like to hear more discussion on the other matters of this.
Okay, ILA Rudy.
I personally have been a member of FTPLA for the past 3 semesters, and I've had the privilege of attending some of these site visits that they've conducted here in Orlando. And the reason that they take these executive site visits elsewhere is because we don't have the opportunity to experience the operational differences, as Senator Rickett was saying, that we have at some of the national parks that are located in other parts of the country, but also the international parks. And the network of individuals that I have seen through FTPLA has been built because of these executive management shadow trips, because they do fly across the country and across the world to meet with individuals in Disney, in Universal. And Rosen has recently been recognized as one of the best internationally for hospitality, and it has this one-of-a-kind degree program in theme park and attraction management. So this is something that's offered specifically here at UCF that no other school can maybe justify as much as we can. Personally, I go to UCF because of programs like this, because I want to go into the theme park industry, and opportunities like this do not come around for many other schools. So I think it's one of the most unique parts of UCF, and I think denying funding, especially for these observational research days, would be a great disservice to UCF as a whole, and especially the Rosen campus.
Okay, Chair Barola.
Yeah, I think for the site visits where you get to network with the professional theme park professionals, that was awkward to say that. I think that was a really crucial to the club's operations and what they do as, future theme park leaders. You can meet people that can hopefully offer you a job in 5 to 10 years. I think that's really, really important. My only issue is with the registration costs, is why I was harping on it during questioning, is that, I share the kind of concerns like the definition of registration. I think that the observation of research days could be something that they choose to do with their own funds. I just find it a little bit difficult to justify using enough student paid funds to pay for the observation of research days, because I don't think that is integral to their networking, right? The conference and networking when they meet professionals during the site visits, that is fully funded. We can fund the travel costs for all that, because to my understanding, that doesn't cost them money, I don't think. It's just kind of meeting with the professionals. But with the registration, the tickets to the park, that, to me, seems like a little bit of a misspending of student funds, just because, if you told a student, hey, this is what you're funding, I don't think they would be super happy with us. So that is kind of why, I will be very much for the bill if we're able to amend out the registration, and then they'll be able to pay for the tickets with their own personal funds. That is more appropriate, in my opinion.
All right. Chair Sherman.
Motion to see my minutes.
There's been a motion to see Chair Sherman's amendments. Is there a second? Any objections? Seeing none, you have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
Yeah, this is just removing the registration costs, and I'd see it as a friendly if anyone maybe could change the totals to reflect that. But just on what CRT can fund, I feel like if we fund this, I don't know that we can necessarily say no to someone who is an individual who was interested in theme park management, who just wanted a Disney ticket for the day. funding this. I don't think we could say no to that reasonably. It just feels like something that's not necessarily good to set a precedent for. And that is why I've made the amendment.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none. Are questions, or are we now in a period of debate?
Question. Can I direct a question to the RSO?
You may.
If we remove the registration, will you still be able to go through with this trip? Like, do you want to still proceed?
We would still be able to go through with this trip. We would just need to do a lot more on our end when it comes to fundraising, as well as raising trip fee costs potentially. It would hurt. It would hurt us. It would.
All right. Are there any other questions? Ailey Rudy?
May I direct a question to the RSO?
You may.
How many years has this registration been funded?
To my knowledge, this trip has been going on for at least 15 years.
Any other questions for the RSO? Or just in general? Senator Benesh?
President voting.
Senator Benesh, President voting, so noted at 8:25 p.m. Any other questions? Senator Chauhan?
So we funded the registration fees last session and the session
Is
before.
that a question for the RSO?
Yes, that's
okay.
That is absolutely correct. Registration has been funded. The last Senate meeting for this last year, as well as the year before that, and the year before that.
Any other questions regarding the amendment? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate. Chair Gaudio, ELA Reed, and then Senator Smith.
So while on the bill, I'm still conflicted. On this amendment, I am very, very much against this amendment because in principle, what we are doing, we are paying for lodging and travel to go to no event. They're going to be doing this regardless, as the RSO stated. If we're questioning the registration, the validity of this event to fall under the definitions, I don't see, like, again, we're paying for lodging and traveling to not have an event to go to. I do not follow the logic whatsoever. I believe we should, if we like it, approve the bill. If we don't like it, deny the bill. I do not like this amendment.
ELA Reed?
Can I actually direct a question to Chair Sherman?
You may.
So just to clarify, by removing the registration, that's simply just the tickets to Disneyland, or is this striking out registration to the event as a whole?
It's absolutely correct that this is only for the 1 day of Disneyland registration. There'll be 10 days of site visits that have no registration cost. This is only removing the registration for the 1 day of Disneyland, which I personally don't feel falls under the conference title. I'm happy to see the rest as a conference, but this I don't believe fits.
Okay. Senator Smith?
Yeah, so I voted for yes for this in committee. I think this amendment is good because it kind of addresses the concerns that have been brought up today. I think that the spirit of this is great, and I think the research is important, and I think this is a good way to be able to fund that. Yeah.
Okay, we have a minute and a half to either vote or deny this amendment. Chair Verla.
Can Chair Sherman see mine and Deela Kaufman's amendments as friendlies?
Yes. Senator Lipner.
I'll be voting in negation of this, specifically because of the question posed by the amendment author. I do see a large difference between going to a park like Disneyland, California as a part of a larger site visit experience, as opposed to an individual going to a single day to, let's say, Walt Disney World's Epcot. There is a very big difference. And I would also feel comfortable funding someone going to, let's say, Busch Gardens, which is outside of our 50-mile radius, if they were conducting research or bringing back something for our student body. And so for that reason, I'll be voting in negation of this amendment and in favor of this greater bill.
Senator Rickett, you have 15 seconds.
Move to vote on the amendment.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures on this amendment. With a vote count of 16 to 28 to 1, this amendment fails. We are still in debate on the bill as an entirety. Senator Lipner.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are non-voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 37 to 8 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5722 passes second reading. I yield the chair to Pro Tem Meeting. Okay, so all you're gonna do is like. Okay.
Fiscal Bill 5723, funding for Akshara to host the Indian Classical Dance Competition at Haggerty High School on February 27, 2026. Senator Jane, you will have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay, the other RSO director is here, so she'll be presenting.
Okay, sorry. Good evening. My name is Simran Dilip, and I'm one of the directors for Akshara. Could we go to the next slide, please? So what exactly is Akshara? Akshara is UCF's first ever intercollegiate Indian classical dance competition, and we're planning on having teams from all over the nation come around, I think, 7 to 9 teams come and participate in this competition. And we currently have 17 members that are helping us plan this event. And these members will gain leadership skills by working together to make the competition run smoothly. We're also planning to be part of the National Origins Dance Circuit. Origins is the national dance circuit for Indian classical dance, and we're working with them. And we expect attendance from UCF students, families, and community members as well. And it will be free for UCF students, and food will also be free during the event. And we hope that this event will strengthen UCF's role as like a hub for diversity and art and culture. Next slide, please. So leadership in Akshara, we currently have logistics chairs, social and marketing chairs, head liaison, registration, tech and media chairs, judging chairs, show, and hospitality and fundraising chairs. All these will help us run the event smoothly, and they're working in different areas to make sure that we're able to put everything together by the spring of 2026 to host the event on February 28th at Haggerty High School. So for the cost breakdown, our venue is around $4,000. The exact price is $3,792. Plus, we have a $200 fee for custodians and labor fee. And we'll have the auditorium from 7 to 10 a.m., including the cafeteria, where food will be served after the competition to everyone who attends for free. So for food, we will provide food for everybody who attends. We're looking at Tabla Indian Restaurant to provide food. They quoted us $2,700. And yeah. For decorations, the price came out to $999.16. So the decorations will be used for when teams come, we decorate their hotel rooms so that they feel more welcomed. And we'll also use it for mixer. Mixer is when the teams will meet each other and play games to determine show order. So when they perform, it's like a double blind, so we don't know who's performing at what time till the day before. And we'll also use it to decorate the venue and the lobby on show day to make it fit our theme. So for photography, we're looking at a company called Ashwin and Suresh to document the event, and they will also live stream the event for people who can't make it in person. They include a videographer and photographer, and they've worked in multiple dance circuits around the nation, including nationals last year. So for videography, it's $2,200, I think, and photography is $1,000, and it includes pictures for the entire event, and they'll give that to us as well as the teams. For DJ, we are working with AP Produced, and they quoted us $450 for the event, and it's for a post-competition social for the teams to relax after they compete and get to know each other more. For merchandise, we're asking for $2,650. This will include water bottles, custom keychains, drawstring bags, and small notebooks for the team, as well as during tabling, we will be giving these out. We will also be ordering other stuff such as shot glasses and tote bags to give out during tabling. And then the designs for the merch, for the drawstring, we were thinking about the circular design, notebooks, that design, and the keychain, the Tangled theme design that says Reach for the Stars. So for the cost breakdown, our venue is $3,992. Our food would be $2,700. Our decorations, $999.16. Video and photography, $3,200. Our DJ is $450, and our merchandise is $2,650, which comes to a total of $6,999.16. Thank you.
I now yield the chair back to Senate President Quartz.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions for the RSO? ELA Reed.
Yeah, just a quick question about the photography and videography. Aside from being able to live stream for people that aren't in attendance, why do you believe it's necessary to hire someone to take photo and video?
So they've worked previously with other competitions, and they take videos that we can also post on social media and market that way and show people who couldn't make it or tune into the live stream.
Okay, Senator Banesh and then Senator Leon.
So I see you guys are new RSO, so I'm just wondering how you are planning on funding your half.
So we currently have members, and they've paid $40 dues, and then we're currently recruiting liaisons to help us connect with the teams when they get here and have them help us during the competition weekend itself. So we'll get dues through them. And we're also working with Indian American Business Association, and they've agreed to sponsor us, as well as Gujarati Samaj, and we're reaching out to other sponsors as well.
All right, Senator Leon.
Similar to what Senator Banesh said, I understand that you are a new RSO. I do think the funding for the merchandise is quite a bit, and I would like to see a further breakdown. And on top of that, I do not believe ordering shot glasses with SGA money is appropriate.
Okay, so we are in questioning. So do you have a question for the RSO?
What exactly made you have that much merchandise? Why do you need to have that varied amount?
Can we go back to the merchandise one?
Yes. For chance. Oh.
So we won't be using the money from SG for shot glasses. That's out of our own sponsorship. We're only using SG money for the water bottles and custom keychains. We have the price breakdown. It's like around $2 for the keychains, around $175 for the drawstring, and then $215 for the notebooks. And it's just to get more engagement and also make sure that UCF is aware, or the community itself is aware, that we're hosting a competition that's showing such an ancient dance form and bringing awareness to it, because it's honestly very underrepresented just nationally.
All right, Chair Gaudio.
So I was reading through the text of the fiscal bill, and for the merchandise, it says merchandise for all members. Could you elaborate a little more on how merchandise will be distributed, be it at the event or at tabling?
So at tabling, we'll just have it available, and if someone comes up to us, we can offer it through them. We were also thinking of having a spinning wheel, so if they do spin it, then whatever it lands on, they will be given them.
All right, any other questions for the RSO? Senator McRae and then Senator Roatase.
For the DJ, I know it said if I'm free, is that confirmed, or do you guys have a backup just in case?
That is confirmed. We've talked to him more after that. We don't have an actual contract written up yet, but we're working on it.
Senator Roatase.
So I see here that the expected turnout is going to be around 250. Is there, a methodology you went about to kind of gauge that number?
Yeah, so we'll be having tickets or like RSVP forms send out in like January, and we'll gauge it based off of that. The auditorium's able to hold 800 people, so if it is more than 250, then we're able to hold that as well.
Are there any other questions? Senator Lipner?
Two, if I may.
You may.
First off, can you clarify whether there'll be any like registration fees for the groups that are coming to perform?
No, there won't be any registration fees.
Thank you. And then the second question is in regards to the food cost. I noticed that they were quoted for around 300 people. Is that just to kind of give yourself kind of a little bit of extra room in case more people kind of show up? Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for the RSO? If not, we're not in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? Senator Lipner?
Motion to see my amendment.
Second.
There's been a motion to see Senator Lipner's amendment and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, yours is. Okay, you have 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
Yeah, this is super simple. Just changing the description of the merchandise to be merchandise for all attendees, not just members, because I think it's a lot more broad than that. We all know that, but it's completely fine and within our statutes. So just making it more clear. Any questions?
All right. Yeah, we are now in a period of questioning. Anybody have any questions? Chair Hernandez?
Can I motion to approve this by general consent?
There's been a motion to approve this by general consent. Any objections? Hearing none, this amendment is approved by general consent. Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Chair Lush?
Motion to see my amendments to the bill.
Oh, there's been a motion to see Chair Lush's amendments and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, you have 2 minutes.
This is changing the merchandise cost to reflect what they had up there. That does not include the shot glasses. It was about $25 less. And that's just to ensure that they can only buy the merchandise that they had on the merchandise slide that was quoted instead of having another $25 to spend freely. And then updating the costs for the totals and whatnot.
All right, we are now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions? Senator Lipner?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Second. And a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. Dela Kaufman and then Chair Gaudia.
Motion to see my amendment as a friendly.
Sure. The Dela Kaufman's amendments are attached as a friendly now. Those are the ones and that therefore be it enacted, as well as the second to last whereas. Chair Gaudia.
I move to approve these amendments.
There's been a motion to approve these amendments by general consent. Any objections? Hearing none, these amendments are approved by general consent. We are still in debate on the bill as a whole. Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Senator Jane?
As I'm one of the directors, I will be abstaining from voting, but we started this because we wanted to uplift and deny the stereotype that Indian classical dance is very underrepresented. And that's why we started it, as Indian classical dance has been a big part of both of our lives. And we believe that this will definitely strengthen UCF's role in local Orlando Indian communities, such as dance communities, not just for Indian classical dance, but also for Bollywood dance communities. And just in general, it will lift UCF's reputation as well. And we really, really thank Senate for their support.
All right. Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? If not, okay. Senator Gaudio.
Move to vote.
Oh, there's been a motion to move to vote. Is there a second? Okay. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures. With a vote count of 42 to 3-1, Fiscal Bill 5723 passes second reading. And Senator Lipner, I apologize wholeheartedly for that. Okay, next we have Fiscal Bill 5724, funding for 13 members of students for training, research, and education in energy and turbines to travel to the American Society of Mechanical Engineers Turbo Expo Conference 2026 in Milan, Italy from June 13th to June 20th, 2026. Dela Kaufman, you have 5 minutes when you're ready.
I yield to the RSO.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Connor Wall. I'm the treasurer for the Students for Training, Research, and Education in Energy and Turbines, or STREET. And this is our bill to have 13 of our committee members, or our organization members, to attend the Turbo Expo conference in Milan, Italy next year. So just a background about STREET. It was founded in 2012 to help students here connect with people in the industry and also attend conferences to present their research and other works. ASME Turbo Expo has been a staple for STREET, attending since the foundation in 2012, except for the years of 2020 and 2021 due to the COVID pandemic. And the large presence of UCF at this conference and other turbo machinery conference has put us on the map as one of the main leaders in research as a university in turbo machinery. Along with attending conferences, we also like to go to different plants, or like power plants or facilities. For instance, the top photo is our tour early this year of the Siemens Innovation Center just down the road from UCF. And we also look for outreach programs like partnering with the National Society of Black Engineers in 2024 for their Walk for Education, where we gave kids in elementary up to high school presentations about turbo machinery. Some info about the conference itself. It's a research conference where authors who have work to present and publish present their research to over 2,500 members that attend, whether they're in academia, industry, or in government. At the conference, STREET members will be presenting their research either as a published paper or as a poster presentation. And STREET members will be able to bring back networking opportunities, as well as understand what other research is being done around the world in the turbo machinery field, to go back and understand what research they should be focused on, or maybe UCF in general. Current efforts for fundraising. There is currently a presenter fellowship that is given by UCF. It is $800 per presenter for graduate students and $500 per presenter for undergraduate students. And there are also 2 scholarships that are awarded by ASME. One is the the SACTO award, which is the travel award, up to $2,000, and also a registration discount of $500 for students as well. Breakdown of the cost. Since this is in Milan, Italy, we do have to convert from euros to dollars. At the time of making this, it was $1 to 84 cents euros. So I don't know what the cent equivalent is. Registration for the conference, this is the early discounted registration for students, is 7,600 euros. That included with the value added tax turns out to be $1,111 USD per student, with a total registration cost of $14,443.93. For travel and airfare, we chose a direct flight from Miami to Milan. We chose this as it reduces any problems with delays or layovers, and the same price as any flight from Orlando to Milan, with the added benefit of not having a layover. Every flight out of MCO does include a layover, either in Europe or the US. And then it will be $1,510 per person, with a total travel cost of $19,630. And then for lodging, which is not currently on the bill, but it will be $799.62 per person, with tax for Milan city tax of $8.33 per night. There's a similar tax on 3-star hotels as well. And the total lodging cost will be $10,395 for everyone. So the grand total is $44,500 roughly, and the grand total with registration and travel is $34,000. And so in this bill, we are asking for half of that, which would be roughly $17,000. These are just the travel quotes of the flights. And then these are the registration costs seen here. So this is the 765 euros is for the advanced registration for students for the full conference. And then the last one is the lodging, which all of these hotels are listed as ones that are promoted by ASME in the conference, and they're all within walking distance to reduce travel costs if we had to take public transport or anything to and from the conference. That is all. These are just some photos of STREET at previous conferences, and thank you.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Does anybody have any questions for the RSO? Chair Gaudio and then Senator Rickett.
So you have 27 people part of your RSO. You're bringing 13, which is roughly half. How are you deciding which half of your RSO is going to this incredible conference?
Yes, so we base it on what research everyone has willing or ready to prepare. So there's research going on with everyone within the organization, but only some have research that is currently done and ready to prepare and publish as a paper. And so we chose those as a first basis with a priority to those who are ready to publish as a paper, which is a bit more of a rigorous task because it's peer reviewed by conference before it's published. And then after that, those who have research that is ready to be presented as a poster was then selected.
Senator Rickett?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For the RSO, which airline actually are you guys actually utilizing for this trip?
So this airline is American Airlines and is the only one that has a direct flight from Florida to Milan.
All right, Senator Fawcett?
Thank you. You're flying out of Miami. How are you getting down there, and how is that being funded?
Yeah, so it'll be covered not with the bill, it'll be covered with help from our advisors, and it'll be rental cars that will take the members down to Miami and back up.
Chair Barilla?
And do you plan to use the costs accumulated through the rental car process as part of your contribution towards the bill?
No.
Senator Lipner?
Can you clarify, like, who's going to be going to this trip? Are they going to be undergraduates, graduate students, PhD candidates?
Yeah, so it's a mix of all of them, mostly graduate, whether it's master's or PhD, but we also are planning on 2 undergrads at the moment. And we also have an alternate pool of a similar mix.
Any other questions? Chair Rose?
Is there a reason you're not requesting funding for the hotels?
Yes. So because this date is because the conference date is so close to the end of student government's fiscal year, there's been some back and forth with our RSO and the financial office about whether they'll be able to fund the bill if lodging was included. We're hoping that we can add it to the bill with the caveat that we will pay for it at the time of paying for airfare and registration upfront. So there wouldn't be a problem with having to use the 2027 fiscal year budget on this bill.
Any other questions for the RSO? Seeing none. Oh, Senator Rohrkasser?
Have you guys done research on what the price of the lodging could potentially be?
Yes, we have the quotes.
It's not going.
Let's see.
And we also have it on the breakdown slide as well.
Right. Any other questions for the RSO? If not, we are now in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak? I will go Chair Gaudio, Senator Lipner.
So I'm familiar with this RSO, and they do incredible work. So for those of you who don't know who their advisor is Dr. Kapat, who runs an incredibly prestigious lab here on the university. These people do a lot of really cool stuff, to put it bluntly. And so I understand the numbers might look a little big and scary at first, but it is well worth it. They get so much. These people are the future of aerospace. And if you guys like planes or rockets, that's a pretty cool industry.
Senator Lipner?
Motion to see my amendment as a technical.
Yes. We will see your amendment as a technical. Vice Chair Jones?
Motion to see my amendment as a technical as well.
Yes, I'll see that as a technical as well. Any other people wishing to speak in debate? Chair Lush?
It's not really a debate, but we would need to change the numbers for the total Senate contribution, I think, as well, by 1 cent. So,
Okay, that will also be seen as a technical. Any others wishing to speak in debate? Senator Lipner?
Yeah, this seems like a great conference and opportunity. In CRT, they made it very clear that they will be giving very in-depth presentations, whether it be oral or poster, to very highly esteemed peers in their field. This is a great conference, and I'm very excited to see you all go to it, so I'll be voting in favor.
Okay, anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Seeing none, we're now in a period of voting. With a vote count of 46 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5724 passes second reading. All right, next we have Fiscal Bill 5726, funding for 13 members of international medical outreach to travel to the India service trip in, I don't want to butcher it, India from December 7th to December 17th, 2025. Senator Green, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Thank you. The RSO is present, so I will yield to them.
Okay, so if the RSO would wish to come up to the podium.
That was oops. Okay. Well, hey everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Jeff Pomblanco. I'm the vice president of International Medical Outreach. With me today, I have Zuleika Navarre, our treasurer, and Nika DeMorn, our sergeant at arms. And just sort of a brief background, International Medical Outreach is a 501c3 nonprofit organization here at campus, and we focus on two main goals: trying to serve underserved people in regions all around the world, whether it be through our donations, our local volunteering in our backyard here in Orlando, or through places like New Orleans, Puerto Rico, India, Brazil, Turkey, Colombia, Peru, all places that we've traveled to in the past. And our second goal is to educate ourselves and members on the ways in which healthcare is practiced in different regions here in the US and globally, and also about the ways in which healthcare is impacted by social and cultural influences. So if we can go to the next slide, please. What we're applying here for is funding for our trip to Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar in the state of Maharashtra in India. The purpose of this trip is to spend 6 days doing medical shadowing and clinical volunteering with a hospital called Dr. Hedgewar in the city. It's a wonderful opportunity for our members to get experience, to see firsthand surgeries, OR, as you guys can see these images here, being able to spend time shadowing, volunteering with patients and physicians, as well as being able to get wonderful cultural exposure. During the course of this trip, we're able to spend time every dinner interacting with physicians, BAVP, which is the name of the larger trust, their staff, their organizers, their founders, interacting with Indian college students, people of our age group. Also, we're able to travel to various slum centers that the hospital manages and see firsthand the ways in which they provide outreach in those impoverished communities as well. So it's an awesome opportunity for us to be able to see how this stuff is organized and practiced as people who want to aspire to become healthcare professionals, as well as being able to see these practices firsthand in the OR. Go to the next slide, please. Do I have a clicker? Anyway, so we're able to provide firsthand support to these underserved communities, as well as try to foster a culture of multiculturalism and altruism here at UCF. Another thing that we're able to do is build opportunities in networking. For example, our last trip was to Istanbul, Turkey, and everyone who went on that trip was able to receive a letter of recommendation from one of the head physicians at that hospital. So we're able to provide lots of opportunities for our students, as well as be able to grow and communicate with UCF and these organizations here. One of the things I'm working on as the vice president is to build an exchange program between our College of Medicine here and the India Center and the College of Medicine at the hospital in India as well. So I'll go ahead and pass it off now to Zuleika to speak more about the specifics of the funding.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zuleika Navasa. I'm the treasurer for IMO. So there are many different ways that IMO tries to diversify our income. So not only do we ask for allocation, but we also work within the community. So CSC events or Orlando City Soccer events, for example. If any of you guys have been to a football game these past few weeks during the fall semester, you probably have seen one of our faces as well. That's us trying to get funding for our trips to keep costs as low as we possibly can. Like Jeff had said, these are amazing opportunities for our members, and not all of them are pre-med. Some of them are mechanical engineering students, some of them are CS majors. But from this experience, they can bring it back home here to UCF, to Orlando, and share it with the greater public. So other ways that we try to diversify our funding are with the India Center, and through our collaboration with the India Center, we have been in collaboration with Central Florida Association of Physicians from the India subcontinent. So actually, when we first started going to India 3 years ago, they helped fund our trip. So we are back in contact with them again. And our members also pay a trip fee of $1,000 USD. Okay, so now cost breakdown. Registration is going to be $325 for an individual. Travel will mostly just be flights because in India, our lodging is within walking distance from the hospital. Food and everything will also be within that area. So the flights themselves will cost $1,562.23 for a total of 13 members. That'll be $24,000, $24,545.56, and we're asking for an allocation of $12,000, $272.78. Our flights are going to be from Orlando to New York, to Dubai, to then Bombay, and then Sambhajinagar. Our lodging is going to be very close to the hospital, as I had said, in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra. And once again, from our IMO board, we are so thankful for this opportunity to present to all of you guys today. So from the three of us and for the rest of our board, we would like to say Dhanyavad.
Okay, we're now on a period of questioning. Are there any questions for this RSO? Senator Lipner?
Two, if I may.
You may.
First off, can you explain a little bit more about the last-minute nature of this timeline?
Last minute nature of this timeline, you said?
Yes.
To clarify? Yeah, so we conducted our interviews. So just recently, we've established our entire trip team and our members. Another thing to keep in mind is that hospitals can be very, very difficult to manage and work with. So a big part of it is being able to organize physicians, the times that they're free, and all those sort of individual aspects. But just to assure everyone, we've traveled to this particular hospital for the past 3 years, and our organization was founded back in 2006. We've been doing 4 to 5 service trips for the past decade and a half. So I understand your concern. I very much I appreciate that you're also bringing that up because it's definitely something to address. But in terms of timelines, it's something we're used to, we're accustomed to. We've been working with this for quite a long time, and so we have no concerns about those sorts of issues.
All right, any other questions for the RSO? Your second.
Yeah, thank you. Can you clarify a little bit about the certifications that the individuals who will be going on these trips and conducting?
Exactly. So as for certifications, we're traveling as undergraduate students. And so a really unique thing about India is that they have undergraduate programs, but they sort of function a bit differently as opposed to our medical program. So we're going as fully observational students, going to understand and see. We're not interacting with patients, we're not touching them, right? Anything we do is within the context of volunteer work that you'd be able to perform here in the United States without an issue. So when we look at certifications, we do applications and we also conduct interviews. And in these interviews, we're mostly looking for things like passion, morals, and ethics, because we want to take people who we can trust, because it's a foreign location, it's very far away. We're with each other for a very long time with one another. And we also want to understand that they have strong morals and ethics. So when we're in a situation like that, we're both protecting the patients, the physicians, and ourselves. As for particular certifications, we're not screening for people who have prior clinical experience or that sort of work. We just want to take people who have that passion in their heart and are morally ethical people so they can get wonderful experience when they are able to travel with us.
Any other questions for RSO? Senator Lim?
Do you guys, sorry, my voice went out. Do you guys have a backup list just in case one of your members drops out of the trip?
Yeah, we do. So I believe we had 15 applicants? 13 applicants. We accepted 9. So that means we have 4 people who were interested in going who weren't accepted through the interview process. So in the case, this also happened on the last Puerto Rico trip. We had a member drop out. We had one fill and replace them because we always have usually 4 to 5 members who apply for the trip and they weren't accepted. So in case someone drops out, we've already purchased flights and we have a backlog of members who really take the spots.
Anybody else wishing to ask a question for the RSO? Senator Lipner.
I'll yield to Senator Escobar.
Okay, Senator Escobar.
2, if I may.
You may.
You mentioned that members going on the trip pay $1,000. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that solely for this trip?
Yes. So the $1,000 fee is for this particular trip, and everything within it is covered. Members will meet us at the airport, and then we're with them until we bring them back. So 3 meals a day, housing, flights, everything is covered in that cost.
Follow up. And it shows that 13 members are going, and then the total cost for the RSO is $12,200 and change. Is every member going paying the $1,000?
Yes. Yeah, we all have a trip responsibilities contract that we all sign prior to going that assures that we all pay that amount equally.
Senator Lipner.
You mentioned some kind of outside funding sources as well. Can you clarify how much that's going to be and when they're or where they're coming from?
Of course, yeah. So we're currently working with the India Center and CAPI. They handed $2,000 to us during our last trip to India. We're currently in talks with them right now. We haven't guaranteed a specific amount of funding yet as to that arrangement, but that is one of our main partners, and also the India Center as well. I've received $2,000 from them as well.
Okay, any other questions for the RSO? Senator Lipner.
Are you a hired member of the 501c3?
Yes, we're a federal 501c3.
Are you a hired member?
A hired member? No. No, no, we're all undergraduate students. None of us work for the organization. We're fully share the organization.
Right. Seeing and Chair Rose.
Just to clarify, 9 people are going?
13 in total, 9 members that we selected, 3 board officers, and then 1 who's a researcher from the Department of Anthropology.
Okay, and then you have the 4 backups in addition to those people that are going?
Yeah, in case someone drops out, then they're able to fill that spot. But assuming that doesn't happen for any reasons, we already have our selected 13 on our roster.
Chair Lush.
2, maybe?
You may.
You said one of them is a researcher?
Yeah, so I'm also working with the Department of Anthropology, as long as I can remember. We have a internship called the Global Health Internship with the Department of Anthropology, which is a 3-credit-hour internship. I was lucky enough to do this back in 2023. We do interviews the semester prior to being selected. And that member works with either Dr. Shanna Harris or Dr. Monica Rodriguez throughout the course of the semester. It also fulfills their high impact requirement. They're an anthropology major. Throughout the semester, they conduct research, multiple literature reviews, they create a research question, and they travel with us during one of our trips and do ethnographic research, conducting interviews with patients, physicians, and staff. And in return, they write a report that's then published, and they present that information to our general body.
And just to confirm, they're not a UCS student, right?
They are. They're not a graduate.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just so you guys know, there is about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in questioning. Senator Lipner.
Can you clarify whether you're getting any money from the anthropology department as a part of this partnership?
Nope, anthropology department doesn't fund any of it.
Any other questions for the RSO? Seeing none, we are not in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? Senator Satvika and then Senator Hussain.
First of all, I want to say that your initiative and your goal is really hits close to me because I've been there and I've seen how the healthcare system works in India. It's a choice that you make to go and visit impoverished communities and try to be as much service as possible. And I think that truly embodies the nature of inclusion and service from the healthcare system. I think that's a really crucial initiative to embody really. And lastly, Dhanyavad.
Yeah, as a pre-med student, I think this sounds like a great opportunity for their members, so I'll be voting in favor and encourage everyone to do the same.
Senator Alcuda.
I remember this RSO coming in last year, and I'm just as impressed now than I was back then. I think this is not only a great opportunity for them to gain experience in the medical field, but also to increase cultural awareness. And I can tell you guys are very culturally aware and that you've benefited a lot personally from this program and this opportunity. So I will be voting in favor, and I encourage you all to do the same.
With 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? Are you in negation?
Motion to see my amendments.
All right, there's been a motion to see Senator Lipner's amendment and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, you have 2 minutes.
I think a few people raised this flag, but I was generally a little concerned about the fact that they were receiving more money from outside sources and their members than they were going to have to contribute to this bill. And so I've just kind of reallocated the totals to be 14,000 coming from IMO and then the rest being 10,545 coming from Senate. I'm willing to hear all of your thoughts and whether or not this total makes sense, but I just don't want to see them pocketing money from Senate contribution.
All right, Chair Barola, and then Senator Green.
Yeah, so to clarify, the intention for raising their part of the contribution is simply because they've stated to us that they have more money than needed to pay for their part of the contribution.
To clarify, they stated that they're requesting $1,000 from each member going, so that alone is $13,000. And then they're also getting outside funding and have done other fundraising throughout this session.
All right, Senator Green.
May I yield to the RSO?
Do you have a question for the RSO?
No.
Okay, your follow-up, Chair Barola?
This is a question anyone can answer it. Have we ever raised an RSO's contribution because they demonstrate that they can pay it?
I'm seeing head shakes, so I'm guessing it's a no. Any other questions? Senator Green?
Yes, actually, may I direct a question to Senator Lipner?
You may.
So
Can you elaborate further on what you mean when you state that your concern is that they might pocket money? Can you please elaborate further on that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that they're a 501c3 and this may go to other purposes, but in my opinion, I think if we're giving money for a specific purpose, it should go to that purpose. And if it results in money going to other purposes, then it's not necessarily being fiscally responsible or ethical. I 100% agree with the purpose of this trip and want to fund them, but I also know that they'll be probably coming back for other funding and want to be mindful of their caps there and completely expect them to use that cap regardless.
Chair Gaudio,
Two, if I may, one to the RSO and one to fiscal leadership.
you may.
So first question to the RSO regarding that $18,000. What does your RSO do other than these events? What are you spending money on doing?
I can give a good example. Like I said, we were going to Haiti about twice a year since 2006. As of 2018, 2019, we have been able to go back with, of course, the assassination of the president, COVID, and of course, the earthquake that hit the region. So one of our current projects is we've been funding a cistern and a pharmacy to be established in the community of Meribrignoll, which is now currently fully operational. We also have a radio tower within the community that we create transcripts about health, things like HIV, AIDS, cholera, that the community may not be educated and aware about. And we how should I say, translate those things into Haitian Creole, and then we will broadcast those things from the radio transmission tower. So that's a good example of one of the ways that we would be spending funds. But also I don't know, can I address some of the things from the line of the mic? Is that okay? I was going to say that we're asking for $1,000 from the members, but on the trip payments, they're the most that the trips will ever cost. In the intention that we are in excess of any amount, we will reimburse the money back to those members. If we were to look at our budget sheet, we expect the trip to not necessarily, I should say.
Ideally, it would cost about maybe $700 per member.
Right.
So the $1,000 is just to cover any emergency fees that may accrue unexpectedly.
Right, and
It's also what we expect based off the quotas and everything. But if there is any extra excess, that would go towards those nonprofit efforts in Haiti or giving money back to our members.
okay, and for your second question,
May I direct this question to the CRT chair?
you may, and then after
Actually,
this,
the DLEG. This would be the DLEG. My
okay,
apologies.
and this will be the final question before time elapses.
So with regards to that $18,000, is that including the expected, I think it was like $13,000, or is this everything else?
This is just one number that on the Night Connect form that they put. It doesn't have a breakdown of it on the form. That's not an answer I would know.
Okay. Questioning time has elapsed. Is there a motion? Audio.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate on the amendment. Chair Rose, Senator Escobar, and then Chair Rilla.
I'm not in favor of this. If you look at 812.1 in Title 8, it says the funding amount for Senate bills shall be 50% of total eligible costs unless there are sanctions imposed or the RSO requests a lower funding level. So we can't really make the split not 50-50 unless the RSO requests it. So the only way to like amend it like this would be to also reduce the RSO contribution to the same amount. But I'm still not in favor of changing it for what it was.
I'd like to raise a point of order. This amendment, going by statutes, is not permissible.
Okay, so we just won't see it. Okay. Amendment is dropped. We are back in debate on the bill as a whole. Does anybody wish to speak in debate? Senator Lipner.
I was trying to withdraw this amendment as soon as they gave the explanation that they're going to give the money back. I think that was a great explanation. It was basically what I was looking for. I just wanted that further clarification because I think you understood what I was going for there. I'm very much in favor of this bill, and I think it's an extremely great opportunity for these students. I think everything that you've answered checks out with my personal hopes. So thank you for doing all of that, and I'll be voting in favor.
All right, is there anybody in negation? Move to vote. We are now on voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 43 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5726 passes second reading. And I would also like to thank Chair Gaudio because I was not sure if that bill had passed last year or not. Deli Kaufman.
Motion to see fiscal bill 5722 and 26 on third reading.
There's been a motion to see fiscal bills 5722 and 26 on third reading and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, is there a motion to move back to legislation on notice of legislation on third reading? All right. Fiscal Bill 5722. ILA Rudy, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
We just saw this bill and it passed. So yeah, I yield the rest of my time.
Chair Gaudio.
I move to approve these fiscal bills.
There's been a motion to approve these fiscal bills as a block by general consent. Are there any objections? Wait, they're not in a block though. I can't. Okay, so there's been a motion to approve Fiscal Bill 5722. Are there any objections?
I object.
Okay, so that motion will not be seen. We are in a period of questioning. Any questions? Senator Lipner?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate. Chair Chow?
Motion to move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote. Any objection? Wait, is there a second? Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 38 to 5 to 1, Fiscal Bill 5722 passes third reading. Fiscal Bill 5726, Senator Green, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
We just saw this bill move to debate.
Questioning.
Oh, motion, like move to questioning.
Okay, we are now in a period of questioning. Any questions? Chair Gaudio.
I move to approve this fiscal bill.
There's been a motion to approve this fiscal bill by
I
general
object.
consent. We will not be seeing that motion. Chair Chow.
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Is there a second? Any objections? Hearing none, we are now in debate. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we are now in a period of voting. Okay, with a vote count of 45 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5726 passes third reading. Internal Committee Caucus time, ENA, 15 minutes. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 9:18 p.m. to reconvene at 9:33 p.m. reports, ENA Committee Chair Chow.
Good evening, Senate. Today in committee, we continued working on rehauling Title VI. Additionally, we discussed how we want to go ahead and present the ranked choice voting system to the general student body before the election period. So I'll eventually talk with the ELA as soon as possible to see which options we want to prioritize first before, and then also how to enact them. Additionally, we also saw 2 Senate confirmations in today's committee meetings. So the College of Business Administration seat number 2, Eric Collis, confirmed 8-0-1, and then College of Business Administration seat number 6, Lei Pio P. Son, confirmed at 9-0. Lastly, the Election Commission LPR committee, several ENA committee members and I reviewed over our markups for Title VI and the ERP. It was overall an extremely productive meeting, and we should be seeing legislation for the ERP passing soon for the next week. And then not only that, but some additional updates on Title VI and also Title IX.
Any questions for the ENA Committee Chair? Seeing none, GAP Committee Chair Varela.
Hello, Senate. GAP is open and working smoothly, unlike the U.S. government. So today in GAP, we just did our normal duties of reviewing bill briefs as well as working on the GAP newsletter. Additionally, we as a committee decided we want to seek to make a public appearance at the Orange County delegation for to make a public statement. So hopefully that materializes and we can kind of get in the door early to tell our representatives what the student body needs from them.
Any questions for the GAP Committee Chair? Vice Chair Wanjin.
Present voting.
Vice Chair Wanjin, present and voting, so noted at 9:36 p.m. Any questions for the GAP Committee Chair? Seeing none, LDR Committee Chair Gaudio.
Good evening, folks. This week we saw 27 absences and introduced our committee to the SGLCers. We had a great turnout from them for us. I was quite happy. I think everyone else in the committee also seemed quite happy about it. There's the votes. I'm not naming all 27. You can find it. It's like, where's Waldo? Me and the vice chair have also been working on getting the voting records for this session and missing records from last session prepared and uploaded to the website, with the vice chair preparing software or something to streamline the process of preparing the records. So we'll give you updates on that later.
Any questions for the LGR Committee Chair? Seeing none, SBA Committee Chair Todorescu.
Hello, Senate. This week, SBA tabled at the Black Business Showcase alongside the Black Caucus. We will be reviewing student concerns and feedback tomorrow during committee. Also, we now have our own pamphlets to educate students about what SBA specifically can do for them. And big thanks to ELA Reed for her help on that. Last week during committee, we reviewed a submission on the concern form, and we also saw 2 proclamations on first reading. So Proclamation 5707 and 08 were passed 10-0.
Any questions for the SBA Committee Chair? Seeing none, confirmations, we will carry on the 5-10-10 from the fiscal bills. First, we have Eric Collis for College of Business Administration, seat 2.
Hello. Before I begin, I would like to thank you all for taking valuable Senate time to see my confirmation through. My name is Eric Kloss, and I'm a sophomore majoring in integrated business. On campus, I'm a part of the Lead Scholars Academy. I'm part of the RSO Lights Camera Action. I'm the treasurer for the Cinema and Film Appreciation Club, and I'm captain for a 5-on-5 intramural basketball team. I want to become senator because I believe I have the necessary skills and qualifications to help the voices of our fellow peers be heard. My 2 main policies are to publish an organizational chart on the student government website for greater transparency, and to foster student involvement and knowledge on what occurs with student government. My second one was to create a weekly shuttle to Waterford Lakes, but you guys beat me to it. So I'll give you another one that I had in mind as well, which is to encourage and advocate for a more entrepreneurial culture here on campus. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Hey, we're now up here to questioning. Are there any questions for this candidate? Chair Gaudio?
Can you name the 7 committees and give a brief description of what they do?
Somewhat, yes. So we had CRT, which is responsible for giving money, as we were seeing today, to conferences, registration, and travel. FAO is more seen for the RSOs on campus that don't have to do with conferences, registration, or travel. We have the GAP committee, which is the government's and affairs. And we also have the Student Body Advocacy Committee, which advocates for the students' bodies here on campus. We as well have the Elections Appointment Committee, which looks at election statutes. Which one am I missing? The Legislative, Judicial, and Rules Committees looks at the statutes as well as the Constitution, as well as the Operations Review and Sanction Committee, which I need to learn more about. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for this candidate? Senator Lim? If elected, what committees do you want to sit on?
Yes, I would love to join the Student Body Advocacy Committee. I think hearing our peers' voices is probably the most important thing that we do here on student governance, the whole point of this organization. So I would like to join that committee.
Any other questions for this candidate? Senator Rickett?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can you tell us some of your senatorial requirements, please?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Can you tell us some of your senatorial requirements?
Yes, I have to do ethics training, financial training, as well as there's a Senate retreat that you must attend. Those are some requirements.
Senator Lipner?
Can you name the sixth title?
The sixth title is the one for the elections.
Any other questions for this candidate? Senator Metellus?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are now in period of debate. Chair Gaudio, ELA Reed, Senator Metellus.
Any comp for me that remembers the existence of LJR is good in my book, especially if he's free Wednesdays at 1:45. He only said one internal committee.
Okay. Please remember we are in formal procedures. ELA Reed.
So I had the privilege of sitting in on this candidate's interview, and it was truly such a joy because all the initiatives that were presented were wonderful. And then additionally, I could just see how passionate this candidate was about joining Senate and being a part of, a leadership and everything like that. So I'll be voting in favor, and I encourage you all to do the same.
Senator Metellus.
So I will be voting in favor of this candidate. I actually know Eric personally from the Lead Scholars Academy. He's always demonstrated immense leadership skills and social skills and gets along well with anyone. And I'm excited to see him utilize those skills within the Senate.
Seeing 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 44 to 0, Eric Callis has been confirmed for College of Business Administration seat 2. Before you clap, is it okay if I put you on the appointment list for SBA? Yes. Okay, go on. Next, we have Lei PA Fo Pi Son for College of Business Administration seat 6.
Is this thing on? Good evening, members of Senate. I thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak before you tonight. My name is Leipie Popi Song. I know it's a really long name. I am a senior in the College of Business studying finance, and my minor is in real estate. Currently, I serve on the President's Leadership Council along with some of the Senate members here tonight. At school, I work as a Microsoft Excel teaching assistant for the economics department. I see some familiar faces on the floor tonight, and previously my little brother was here. I would also like to thank previous Senator Hunter Thoss for pushing me to pursue this opportunity. As an international student from Myanmar, I am very passionate about advocating for students, especially those from underrepresented communities. Thank you so much.
All right, we are now in period of questioning. Are there any questions for this candidate? Senator Rickett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the candidate tell us who is the Dean of College of Administration?
Dean Jarley.
Thank you.
Any other questions for this candidate? Chair Gaudio.
Could you tell me how many articles are in the Student Body Constitution?
Okay, are there any other questions for this candidate? Vice Chair Roar Casway.
Can you elaborate a little bit on your initiatives?
For sure. As I mentioned previously, I'm an international student from Myanmar, and what I recognize in the College of Business is that there is a giant gap in information when it comes to advice for international students, right? So for example, not me personally, but I've heard stories where people went up to the professors and they asked, oh, how should I answer this question on this work authorization question? And they'd be like, oh, it's okay to lie. Or some people would say, actually, you need to be honest because it's against the law. And so there's a lot of confusing advice and potentially dangerous, especially in this time for international students. And my initiative is to bring that gap and bridge that gap, especially between the 3 different departments that are in charge of international students' work authorization. And me personally, this past summer, I had an internship with Poly Wealth Management. And in order to acquire work authorization and CPT paperwork, I was passed around 3 different departments who were not able to give me concrete advice. And this inspired me to create my initiative of streamlining the process and allocating funds to more initiatives for international students. Thank you.
All right, are there any other questions for this candidate? Senator Lipner?
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are not prepared to debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? ELA reads Senator Lipner.
So I have the great pleasure of knowing Lei through President's Leadership Council. And as you all know, I presented it, and that's a very, very hard program to get into. And they only take some of the best of what UCF has to offer. Now, I also was able to sit in on Lei's interview, and, you know, she really showed how much she cared about international students, which is something that I think we need to address more here on the floor, and also just for the College of Business as a whole. And so I think she'd be a great addition to our Senate body, and for that, I encourage you all to say yes.
Senator Lipner?
Yeah, I was incredibly impressed by Compromison's speech and questioning period within committee. All of her questions were answered beautifully. I mean, she basically explained every single requirement for a senator going down the list. So that was really, really impressive. And it's clear that she understands the expectations of a senator and is ready to fulfill them at the most highest quality possible.
Chair Gaudio?
May I resign?
You may.
Hunter Thoss mentioned he was a great senator last time, and if he supports you being in this position, you've got to be good for the role. With that, I'd like to move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote. And a second, any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures. With a vote count of 45-0, Lei Pie Po Pie Son has been confirmed for the College of Business Administration seat number 6. For the 2 candidates who have just been confirmed, there is a justice waiting to give you your oath of office. Please get that done. And then to newly confirmed Senator Son, please tell me what committees you wish to sit on. Okay. Perfect. Okay, internal legislation, notes of legislation on first reading, Resolution 5708 remanded to LJR, Proclamation 5709 remanded to SBA, notes of legislation on third reading, Constitutional Amendment 5701. Chair Gaudio, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good evening, folks. So we saw this last meeting. Basically what it's doing is it's taking the text that says supermajority in the student body constitution under Article 6, changes it to 2/3 because supermajority is not defined anywhere in the Constitution, statutes, Senate rules, and Black's Law Dictionary does not give a firm definition of what would constitute a supermajority. It could be whatever we say it is, and I don't believe that is in the spirit of things. So with that, I yield.
All right, we are now in period of questioning. Are there any questions? Seeing none, we are now in period of debate. Chair Gaudio.
I move to see my amendments.
All right. There's been a motion to see Chair Gaudio's amendment and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, you have 3 minutes. Want to be ready.
I forgot to do this when I was initially writing this legislation. I forgot to hit the powerful Control F and didn't realize that supermajority is said under the succession parts of Article 3 as well. And so this amendment throws that in there because it would be silly to change one mention of supermajority and not the other two.
All right, we are now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions about this amendment? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate over this amendment. Are there any pieces of debate? Chair Varela,
Move to vote.
there's been a motion to move to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 44 to 0, Constitutional Amendment 5701 passes third reading. Oh, that was the amendment that passed. We are still in debate over the constitutional amendment as a whole. Are there any other pieces of debate? Seeing none, Chair Varela.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures on the constitutional amendment as a whole. Okay, with a vote count of 40 to 1 Constitutional Amendment 5701 passes third reading. Next, we have Internal Bill 5713. Senator Escobar, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Senate. We saw this Senate reapportionment bill on second reading last meeting. There have been no changes. However, I do want to give additional context just to some questions asked last meeting. So in regards to the colleges that gained seats, that will be gaining seats next session, so in the 58th session, those will be the College of Business Administration will gain 1 seat from 8 to 9. The College of Community Innovation and Education will go from 4 seats to 6 seats. The College of Engineering and Computer Science will go from 13 to 14 seats. And the College of Medicine will go from 2 seats to 3 seats. And the rest, and then the rest remain the same. So, but in total, the Senate seats will be going from 69 seats to 72 seats. I yield for questioning.
All right, we are now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions about this bill? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? Chair Gaudio.
It's the apportionment bill. I move to approve this internal bill.
There's been a motion. We will not be seeing that motion. Does anybody wish to speak in debate? Seeing none. Do you wish to speak in debate? We are now on voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 43 to 0, Internal Bill 5713 passes third reading. Next, we have Resolution 5706. Chair Rilla, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Hello all. This resolution narrowly passed second reading last week. So I just wanted to address some of the primary concerns of those who dissented to the bill. Those mainly being that this bill wouldn't have much effect on the current reality of things, which I very much disagree with. Dissenters are correct in saying that this bill won't make it easier to detect AI because it's overall very hard to detect AI as a whole, right? We will still not be able to tell if someone used AI without blatantly seeing them or blatantly having someone tell us that they did it. But that doesn't mean this bill is absolutely useless, right? For one, we have had issues in the past. Thankfully, not this session, but in past sessions, which many senators can attest to, veteran senators can attest to, that, I've had people come up to me saying, I wrote 20 proclamations this year, they're all AI, right? And I think it'll be beneficial to have a way to have accountability for that clearly unethical action within our rules. So I think that just for that one reason, this bill is better to have, or this resolution is better to have than not. Additionally, I agree that this won't fully prevent any AI use within our body, and the only way to really establish that is through having norms that's not acceptable within our body. And I agree. I think it's going to be very difficult to prevent people from using undisclosed AI without having it be the culture of our community. But I think this rule is a good step to that culture, right? I think imagine why we stop at stop signs when there's no car within 10 miles of us, right? Well, because it's a rule, right? It's because we just do it because that's the rule. I think eventually that will be the culture around this rule, right? It's good to put it in the rule so it's then accepted. When everyone looks at the rule, whenever a new senator decides to look at the statutes or the rules, that's going to be there. So they're going to think, oh, I shouldn't do this anymore, right? Just having it there has a lot of power and understanding what we accept and what we don't accept. So even though, yes, this is by no means going to solve the whole issue of people using undisclosed AI in unethical ways, but this is a step towards the right direction of solving that issue. So that is why it's 100% better to have this rule than not have this rule. So I use my time.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions on this resolution? Senator Lipner?
2, if I may.
You may.
First off, can you name a AI model that is generative AI that does not use a large language model?
I cannot, but I'm also not really an AI expert. The reason why there is a distinction there is just supposed to account for any number of AI advancements that could happen in the future, which I am not privy to.
And then your second question?
Do you have a specific writing in terms of how you would like the disclosure to be written for that penultimate whereas clause?
Just what the bill says, a disclosure, it could be in any way that could define a disclosure. It's no specific, here's exactly the words you must write. A disclosure is self-evident. I think we all here know what a disclosure is. I don't think we need any more definition.
Senator Callis?
President voting.
Senator Callis, President voting, so noted at 9:57 p.m. Senator, I already forgot, I'm so sorry. Senator Stone?
President voting.
Senator Stone, President voting, so noted at 9:57 p.m. Senator Lipner?
Yeah, just a follow up, if I may. Thank you. I was just, I guess my concern is that we may see disclosures that aren't specific to the usage of AI and how it was used particularly. And I would like to see more clarity on that if we were to pass this.
Was that a question?
Sorry, my question is, would you also be supportive of that more clarity?
Yeah, if the Senate is comfortable with that, I would support more clarity. I think more clarity never hurts, but I do not believe the bill is harmed without it.
All right, are there any other questions about this bill? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate. Does anybody have any pieces of debate? Senator Escobar?
I'll be encouraging the Senate body to vote in favor of this bill. As senators, we're supposed to serve with integrity, and if that means disclosing AI usage within a whereas clause, it's a simple policy. So if a senator is to use AI and when writing a measure, they should be disclosing it if this policy is passed, because as senators, we're to serve it with integrity, and to disclose it is not, it's just saying that we have to disclose it when using it.
All right, before we continue in debate, I know it's a long night and I know everyone's tired, but please look engaged. ELA Reed?
Yeah, so I would say originally I was against this bill, but taking another look at it, fresh eyes, I think there's genuinely kind of no harm in it. I don't think there's going to be a really firm way to enforce this. However, I think as a precautionary and just kind of like a standard that we set, I don't see any harm in implementing this. But again, my only concern, I would say, is that there's no way to really enforce this rule.
Senator Lipner?
Motion to see my amendment.
There's been a motion to see Senator Lipner's amendment. Is there a second? And a second, any objections? Seeing none, you have a minute whenever you're ready.
Yeah, this is just adding that clarity specifically to the disclosure. I wanted to specify which AI software was used and how. This is kind of standard in all academic purposes in terms of citing AI usage, and I think we should kind of follow that standard within Senate. So that's why I added this. I'm open to any questions.
All right, we are now in a period of questioning. ELA Reed?
I guess my biggest question is why do you feel it's important to include how it was used opposed to just saying AI was used in this?
I think there's a big difference between using AI to like clarify or edit as opposed to fully generate. And I think having that explanation is important.
All right, are there any other questions? Ely Reed?
I think how would it matter how it was used at the end of the day? I guess my biggest question is, what would it change if we ask people to specify how it was used?
I mean, first and foremost, whenever I see a piece of legislation that looks like it might be AI written, I definitely take a closer look at it with much more scrutiny. So knowing that it was generated as opposed to edited, we can make that decision to have that judgment call. Additionally, I think it would be valuable to have the discouragement to use AI fully, because if you have to say, I use AI to generate this, as opposed to I used AI to edit this, that is a much different statement and kind of can be interpreted differently by your peers.
Any other questions about this amendment? Seeing none, we are not appeared of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate over this amendment? Seeing none, we are not appeared of voting. With a vote count of 38 to 6 to 2, yep, this amendment passes. We are still in debate over the resolution as a whole. Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Chair Gaudio?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion, move to vote, and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now on voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 38 to 6 to 1, Resolution 5706 passes third reading. Resolution 5707, Vice Chair Troy Hernandez. Well, Chair Troy Hernandez, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Can I motion to postpone it to next meeting?
There's been a motion to postpone this resolution until next meeting.
Second.
And a second. Any objections?
I object.
Okay, we will not be seeing that motion then. Chair Gaudio?
We would go into debate on the motion to postpone.
Okay, we are now in debate on the motion. Does anybody wish to speak in debate? Chair Varela?
May I ask the reason to postpone this to next meeting?
You may.
Then I will ask that.
I wanted to write some bills, but I was so busy this week that I couldn't get them in. They're in relation to like what I'm talking about. It's basically kind of enforcing that all caucuses have to give a report once a month along with scholarship and ANSF because it's not in statutes.
Chair Varela?
May I follow up?
Yes.
So postponement so you can work on amendments, is that correct?
Well, they could be separate bills. Just I didn't want them to be on the same bill. Because
do you withdraw your objection?
I do not.
Okay, so we're still in debate over this motion as a whole. Chair Varela?
Considering this bill was failed last time, I think that postponing it to work on more amendments or more bills for an idea that the Senate has already decided that they do not want to employ, it would probably end up just wasting the time of Chair Troy Hernandez, who's already very busy. I think it's better to resolve this issue now because it wasn't necessarily super controversial last time, and I think it's just better to put the issue to bed.
All right, anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Senator Lipner?
I'm in favor of voting on this now because I feel like if we do vote in negation and Chair Troy Hernandez believes that this is important and valuable with the additions that she's planning, she can always just add this to the next bill that she writes and submits. So I'll be voting in favor of the objection in negation of the original motion.
Okay, Chair Gaudio. All right, anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Chair Hernandez?
I'm writing this list regardless whether this passes or not, guys. They're gonna be seeing them.
Okay, so when we're speaking debate, make sure that you are still directing it at the chair. Anybody else wishing to speak in debate? Chair?
Move to vote.
Okay, there's been a motion to vote and a second. Okay, so for reference, yes is the original motion, no is the objection. With a vote count of 19 to 25 to 1, the objection stands. So we will still be seeing this bill. Chair Gaudio.
One, I'd like to apologize. I forgot we have an objection procedure in the Senate rules. I'm tired. But also, isn't it yes for the objection, no for the motion?
No.
It said on the screen, yes, objection, no motion.
Okay, so
For the sake of showing you, I'm going to pull up another objection motion, not one voted on, but
okay, real.
and this is the carryover, so if I don't push the buttons.
Okay.
It does
So
say objection, yes, motion, no.
Pro Tem made
Motion to revote.
There's been a motion to revote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, I apologize, guys. That was on me. So yes is the objection, no is the motion. Now we'll vote. With a vote count of 31 to 14 to 1, the objection still stands. Chair Hernandez.
I motion to PPI.
There's been a motion to PPI and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 5707 is PPI'd. Notice of legislation on second reading, Internal Bill 5714, updates to Title 8, check bag policy. Vice Chair Jones, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello. We talked about this in committee. It basically just puts a cap on the number of check bags so we can approve to no more than one. This keeps individuals requesting funding for travel from adding more than one check bag for things that might not be necessary. I yield the rest of my time to question.
We're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions, Chair Gaudio?
Under the current wording, could it not be misunderstood that it's one checked bag per request, such as through an RSO allocation or RSO fiscal bill? It's just you get one checked bag total under the current wording.
Yeah, I agree with you. I saw your amendment already on the thing. I agree.
All right. Any other questions for this bill? Seeing none, we are now prepared to debate. Chair Gaudio.
I move to see my amendment.
There's been a motion to see Chair Gaudio's amendment and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, you have a minute.
This is to address the mild concern I have of a one checked bag for RSOs of like 50 people going to a conference. It's one checked bag per funded individual, which I assume to be the original intention. I yield.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Senator Lipner.
Motion to approve this amendment.
There's been a motion to approve this amendment by general consent. Any objections? Seeing none, this amendment is approved by general consent. We're still in debate over the bill as a whole. Is there any other pieces of debate? Senator Lipner.
Yeah, this makes sense and also clarifies that we can fund a single check bag. So move to vote.
All right, there's been a motion to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we're in non-voting procedures. With a vote count of 44 to 1 to 0, Internal Bill 5714 passes second reading. Proclamations, Proclamation 5707, proclamation recognizing October 2025 as LGBTQ plus History Month. Chair Banesh, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everybody. This is my proclamation recognizing October as LGBTQ History Month. Just to answer some frequently asked questions, why October and not June? October is designated LGBTQ plus History Month because it aligns with National Coming Out Day, which is October 11th, and also the first and second March on Washington in 1979 and 1987 for LGBTQ rights. Another question I got asked is, what is the LGBTQ plus caucus doing for LGBTQ plus History Month? And of course, we're holding our fall Pride Market. It'll be October 23rd from 9 to 5. So I hope you guys all pop out. this month kind of just highlights all the history of this marginalized group. I feel like, especially in a time like this, it's important to highlight some of our more attacked groups on campus because students may feel alienated just because of who they like. And y'all know I don't stand for that. So I yield to questioning.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions about this proclamation? Seeing none, we are now in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? ELA Reed, Senator Escobar, Senator Green.
I was just going to say that this is a really wonderful bill. I think this is really well written, so great job. I'll be voting in favor and encourage you all to do the same.
Senator Escobar.
I will also be encouraging the body to vote strongly in favor. LGBTQ plus history is extremely important, not only to UCF, but to this nation, especially during times when LGBTQ plus history is quite frankly been targeted and been erased from certain areas. When like art is being painted over and when landmarks are being when names are being removed from landmarks, I think it's extremely important that this body recognize and celebrate LGBTQ plus history month.
Senator Green.
May I retain?
You may.
All right. As a member of this community myself, this proclamation is very important to me personally. So I would encourage you all to vote in favor of this. And with that, motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. Okay, with a vote count of 44 to 1 to 0, Proclamation 5707 passes. Proclamation 5708, Proclamation denouncing racism, bigotry, and hate at UCF. The chair is not here. Are you going to take it as vice chair? Okay. Vice Chair Jones, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right. This is from Chair Smith. Hi, Senate. I'm sorry I cannot be present to speak today. I am under the weather. Moving on, I'm sure all of you are aware of the threat made to UCF as well as many other HBCUs towards the Black and African American community. Throughout the past weeks, I have attended a forum hosted by the NAACP along with other student government agents and have heard the grievances of the students on our campus. There has been a general consensus that I've reached. Students do not feel that the threat was handled properly and have expressed varying emotions of concern and dissatisfaction. This is why I made this proclamation, to show students that UCF denounces race, hate, and bigotry. In the current climate, it is important that we make these values known, and I think it serves as a good first step at ensuring that we as student leaders are advocating for the voices of our communities. In the making of this proclamation, I did reach out to other caucus leaders to ensure they felt included, because it's important for all minority groups to be recognized when threats such as the ones that occurred, recognized when threats such as these occurred. With that, I yield the rest of my time.
All right, we're now in a period of questioning. Are there any questions about this proclamation? Senator Lipner.
May I direct a question to members of the Caucus Leadership Committee?
That's a lot of people.
Yes. It'll be a hand raise.
Okay.
Can you just raise your hand if you're in favor of sponsoring this legislation? Thank you. That's more.
Second majority. Any other questions about this proclamation? Seeing none, we are not in a period of debate. Anybody wishing to speak in debate? Senator Metellus, Senator Banesh.
I was there in the NAACP meeting, and this initiative is something that we talked about that student government could do. Very glad that the Black Caucus chair decided to write this proclamation. What happened that day was very scary for many students, including myself, and a lot of students also, including myself, felt like it was not handled appropriately. So I feel like it's good that we as a Senate can show that we do care about the safety of all of our students and denounce any sort of hate towards minority groups, especially in a situation like that happened for this bill to be written. So I'll be voting in favor.
Senator Banesh and then Chair Varela.
I mean, guys, I hate to profile myself, but look at me. I'm Black. I'm the LGBTQ caucus chair. Like, why would I not vote in favor of this bill? I encourage you all to vote in favor and make students feel a little bit safer on campus and more understood.
Yeah, just wanted to add some context to the way how students feel about the way the recent threats were handled. So far in the early returns on the GAP survey, by far, not even close, campus safety ranks the highest. And in every fill in the blank response we've gotten, there's been reference to how dissatisfied they are to how UCF handled the issue. So I think this does kind of lie with us student government agents to find a way to rectify or to assuage some of those concerns from the student body. So of course, vote yes on this and do more in the future.
Right, with 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? Seeing none, move to vote. Wait, we are now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 45 to 1 to 0, Proclamation 5708 passes second reading. Senate Forum, Gladio.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to bring up a cool little thing that's happening nearby campus. So one of the research labs run by Dr. Kareem Ahmed and his students, it's called Hyperspace. It's off in Research Park. They are doing an open house on October 6th, 1 to 4 p.m. So if you want to look around in Engines Research Lab, we were talking about those earlier, remember that? If you want to see all that, what goes on, all the work, go check it out, guys. They don't bite, I promise.
Chair Barilla.
Speaking of GAP survey, hello Senate. I hope you all have done the GAP survey. My numbers say you have not, because if you all did, we'll have more responses. So please do it if you haven't. I'm very disappointed if you haven't done it. Also, please share with everyone you know, all your RSOs, all your clubs. Especially send it to your RSOs. There's a link in the general chat for it. And just share it as much as possible because it's really important information to what we do in GAP.
All right, Senator Banesh.
Hey guys, what's up? Rec pickleballs tomorrow, so if y'all don't pop out, I'm finna cry. We lost last time, but it's okay. We actually know how to play now, so please pop out, show us a little love. I attached a picture of me, Mila, and Olivia thugging it out after we failed miserably at the game, but yeah, pop out.
All right, Senator Alcuda.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say if you need to register or update your voter registration, please feel free to reach out to me as I am authorized through my fellowship with the FDP to collect and submit voter registrations.
Senator Metellus.
Before I say, I just wanted to ask if it's okay for me to talk about homecoming here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw, but the homecoming court was just revealed on Instagram today, and I am on the court. And I will start officially campaigning a little bit more next week. I have to wait until it was revealed, but I would love and appreciate you guys' vote. And I'm so excited for homecoming week. And yeah, just stay tuned.
All right. So yeah, totally go support pickleball tomorrow. They're amazing. I don't even care if they lost. They're amazing. Flag football is also tomorrow. We did really good last week. Wait, do we have flag football tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We did great last week. Amazing. I even played, guys. It was great. Senator Lipner.
How many points did you score? Decorum.
Like some 6 or 7. Read.
Yeah, you definitely played for sure. So the Gap newsletter has been posted on the Instagram story. Thank you so much, Andy, for that. Go check it out.
Okay, that's all I see. I did great, guys. I don't know what you're laughing about. Senate deliberation. I don't see anybody there. Advisors report. Shane, do you have anything to say?
Good evening, everyone. The only thing I really wanted to do is apologize. The votes were a little crazy today, so I know we had to go some of the votes, so I'll be better prepared in the future. Just a reminder, I will also not be here next Thursday because I'll be going to West Virginia with a bunch of our student government leaders to the Big 12 conference. But I also wanted to introduce to you all someone you may have seen her around a little bit lately, but we've hired a new student assistant for student government. Maite is here. So please make sure when she's in the office to stop by and say hi, introduce yourself. It will take her a while to learn all of y'all's processes and procedures, but she is already a quick learner and kind of catching speed on things. So you now have a little more support here.
Okay, yay. New student assistant. I love that. Miscellaneous business, resignations. I hereby resign Senator Varela from Latin Hispanic Caucus. I hereby resign Senators Wanjan and Lush from CRT, Sherman from LJR, and Satvika and Rodriguez from Women's Caucus. And I hereby appoint Sherman to GAP, LePA, Faux P, Sohn to CRT, and Senators Collis and Sohn to SBA. Senator shout-outs. You guys got any shout-outs? Senator Matthews, Senator Benesh.
Okay, I want to give 2 shout outs. I want to give a shout out to our 2 new senators. Congratulations. And then I want to give a shout out to Chair to the rescue because I've been in her DMs a little bit too much on Teams. So I appreciate you so much.
Senator Benesh.
I wanted to give one huge shout out to the pickleball team. Shout out to Mila and Olivia for popping out, and Spurty, Darian, pop out tomorrow, I hope, and we finna win. And also big shout out to my dog, Chair Sammy Rose, because he talked today, and I DM'd him on Teams. I'm like, yo, bro, you actually talking a lot today. And he was like, it's the Huey Magoos, bro. So shout out to you, Sammy. Yay!
Yeah, Chair Varela.
I want to shout out my Vice Chair Perez, who is now the Vice Chair of the Caucus Leadership Committee. Clap it up, clap it up. Yeah. I nominated her without telling her I was going to do it, so put her on the spot a bit, but she acquiesced very well, very impressive. She'll be a great Vice Chair.
Senator Lipner, Chair Chow, Senator Escobar.
Chair Varela, she's my vice chair now. You took her from me. How dare you? I was going to shout her out, but thank you so much for all that you've been doing. Also, shout out to Sergeant of Arms Bonaventure for banging that gavel. It's been the first time in a while, and I'm sure it felt good. But yeah.
I don't remember him banging the gavel, but
He yelled decorum at me.
oh,
My
congrats.
voice is a gavel. I get it.
Yeah. Chair Chow. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Special shout out to the E&A committee. Title 6. We can't do revisions without you. Every time I look at that document, my brain is fried. But then you guys always have something new to revise. Thank goodness, because every time I look at that document, I feel a little sick. But we're gonna get through it together, guys.
Senator Escobar.
Shout out Senator Metellus, future homecoming king.
Yeah. Chair Gadia.
Of course, I love my committee. I have to say it every meeting. You guys are great. We crushed through those 27 absences. Half an hour, boys. Woo! My vice chair, ever working as always. SGLC here in the back. What's your name? Taya. I've already met Maite. She's great. You guys are going to think she's great. I ran into Connolly yesterday, so that was funny. Matthews and Zivins, you guys are great members of the committees that you go to. For LJR, we love it. You guys are great. Banesh, because Courts keeps ignoring you during the meeting, and I think that's not nice.
Wait, guys, for reference, because I was raising my hand forever when I first got into the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting here like, dang, girl.
Yeah,
you know what?
Yes, that was a joke.
I'm gonna give my shout outs first.
And then Rickett, because I get to stare at the back of his head all meeting.
Okay. So a few people deserve shout outs tonight because I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what was up with me. So shout out to all of you for putting up with whatever is going, like whatever migraine I have in my brain. Shout out Banesh, because I am so sorry. Shout out Lipner. I don't know how many of you caught it, but earlier I tried to call on Lipner, but I said Gaudio instead. That was bad. There was someone else that I got. Oof. Shout out Orikase, I'm sorry. I'll give a shout out to Gaudio this time because he did kind of clock my tea a little bit. He did kind of clock me with the objections, and I'm so sorry, guys. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Let's not me. Senator Lipner.
Shout out to everyone else who's here who doesn't have to be, mostly the justices, so Sam and Victoria. Our AG, Jorge Altuna. And our Director of Comms, Andy Ayub.
Also, shout out Pro Tem Hamid because I told him he could go next and I just forgot. Pro Tem Hamid, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay, this is a shout out and an apology. So shout out to Shane, Maite, and also Grace. I've been fighting you guys on the agenda today. And like Shane like pulled up to me during ENA and was like, why are you fighting me? And I said, ooh, I'm sorry. Grace was like, why are you fighting me? I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm so locked in on the agenda. It's actually insane. But sorry. Also, shout out to you guys. Shout out to our flag football team. They won in my heart. You guys locked in so crazy.
Guys, I almost caught a ball. Almost caught it, you know?
Yeah.
Senator Green, ILA Reid, Senator Smith.
So shout out to Pro Temp Hamid for holding the chair for like 7 minutes.
ILA Rudy.
Shout out to, first of all, our new ILA Reid over there.
What?
Because you said, anyways, shout out to anyone I Teams messaged during this meeting because I don't know what was happening, but I kept missing votes and things, and everyone was very nice to me, so thank you, except Jason.
Senator Smith.
Shout out to Vice Chair Jones. Your bill was great. Yeah, so proud of you. You're doing great stuff. So.
All right. Yeah. All right. Jones, Hassanine, and then Hamid's gonna be the last one.
Okay, shout out to everybody who came to the Black Business Showcase, SBA, Hospitality, Olivia, Senator McRae was there. Who else? There was a lot of people there. Speaker Course was there. Everybody was there. So yeah, shout out. And the SGLCers that came. It was really fun. So yeah.
Shout out FAO. You guys are cool. Sorry I couldn't be there last meeting. I know it was really hard without me. So.
Oh, shout out to FAO. Didn't know that all of us like Porsches. Also, shout out to, this is going to be a little self-centered, shout out to me, because apparently next week I'll be the acting Senate president. I'll also be the Senate president pro tempore and the acting president. So guys, honestly, I'm so locked in next week. I never even left. Like,
where did you get acting president from? That's what I'm trying
the Constitution.
Oh, yeah, the Constitution. ELA Reid.
Thank you. I just shout out to the CAW senators, including me, and College of Medicine for 2 fantastic dean meetings and making us look really good, really smart, and really prepared, which we are because I made sure we are. So thank you.
All right. Remember when I said after Jason was going to be last? Okay, go on.
Shout out to FAO Double Caucus as our first caucus. It was pretty fun. And shout out to Hamid for taking the minutes twice.
And you know what? Also shout out to me who had to put up with both Nick and Owen coming up to me like, hey, we got to re-meet. Chair Sherman.
Shout out to CRT for caucusing twice.
You know what? Yep. Senator Leon. That's the last one.
Motion to adjourn meeting pending final roll call.
I object.
We won't be seeing that. Okay, then that was the last one. Hamid's masterfully masqueraded models.
Sorry, I had to do this. Okay, so because no, I didn't write that. Oh, okay. So I guess I have to rush. I'll give this a 9.5. Okay. Honorable mention. I was going to give it to Kirsten, but she's a little rude to me, but I'll still give it to her.
Yay.
Okay. And then third place, Nee and Victoria Jones. I think you guys are serving. Second place, Grace, Rudy. I love your outfit. First place, really contentious guys. Can I get a drum roll? I'm going to give it to Chair Okuda. I know the crowd really wanted this. I'll listen to the senator's feedback. Everyone was like, you gotta pick Lima. So you know what? I also agree. You're serving today.
All right. Leon, you wanna make the motion again?
Motion to adjourn meeting pending final roll call, please.
Been a motion to adjourn this meeting pending final roll call and a second. Any objections? Be quiet, guys. Seeing none. Chair Gadia.
Paul.
Present.
Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Casimiro.
Present.
Ariza.
Present.
Cabanos. Lim.
Present.
Sadvika. Scott. Chow.
Present.
Jane.
Present.
Sherman.
Present.
Danae Smith. Ali. D.
Present.
Malik. Orwella.
Present.
Hamid.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Lucht.
Present.
Metellus.
Present.
McNulty. Rocasa.
Present.
Rose.
Present.
Rudy.
Present.
Trey Hernandez. Fawcett. Guys. Thank you. Rickett.
Present.
I'm here. Chauhan.
Present.
Escobar.
Present.
Rodriguez. Wanjan.
Present.
Hassanin.
Present.
Green.
Present.
Wynn.
Present.
Bonaventure.
Present.
Perez.
Present.
Okuda.
Present.
Banesh.
Present.
Candeloro. Courts.
Present.
Jones.
Present.
Leon.
Present.
Matthews.
Present.
McRae. Nurse Madevra.
Present.
Renda. Guys, I know we're excited. Connolly.
Present.
Simmons. Titorescu. Varela. Varela. Turn your mics off, guys.
Present.
Zivin.
Present.
Lipner.
Present.
Hang on, we have two names left. Hang on. Collis.
Present.
Pisone.
Present.
Alrighty. With that, we have 47 out of 56.
Nice. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 10:32 p.m. Get home safe. And great job getting out at 10:32. We had a big meeting.